smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. Mouth moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me up, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was close, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. Hop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. FN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eating bullet for dinner. 5.0, eat 'em up, eat 'em up. SK, smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got them all, you don't want no. I got all those six, nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get this pussy, leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding.
Salute, salute, salute. Undercard boxing, salute, my G. What's good, big dog? What's good with you? It's Upper Echelon in the building. I dropped the link down early. Anybody want to hop up early? Let's get this cooking going. How's everybody doing? How was everybody's weekend? Smash that like button if you just getting in here. We got some things to cook on today. And we can saute it, fry it, fillet it, or put that bad boy on the grill and let it cook up, slow roast. Or we can smoke this thing out. And I ain't talking about Snoop Dogg and Martha Stewart. Shane Fraser, salute, King. Oh, yes, I'm waiting for a good boxing week this week as well. Undercard as well. Yes, sir. I'm really waiting on September 30th. Waiting on that Canelo. Hold on 1 second, people. 1 second. Well, I'm going to tell y'all one thing. Crawford fans can't say we making excuses now, people. Crawford done came out and did the worst thing he could possibly do for this situation. Steven So Cold Nelson, Crawford's best friend, came out and said they want to lead the fight at 147 so Errol Spence don't accept the fight. So what they did when they said that is they know Errol Spence can't possibly make 147. They know Errol Spence is handicapped at 147. They know that Errol Spence's body was wrong in that fight at 147. So now that they don't want to fight Errol, they trying to put the fight at 147. So now Crawford fans can't say we make an excuse when Crawford is using that same weight to duck the man. Am I right? Is that not what they just came out and said? They said they don't even want the Spence fight at 154. They don't want the Spence fight. And they said they hoping that Spence won't take the fight So they're going to keep it at 147. But you on record saying you want to go up to 154 and fight Jermell Charlo for his belts, or you'll go to 168 to fight Canelo for his belts. But you don't want to fight 154 for Errol Spence. What is that for? Is it that you knew that Errol had problems at 147, that you didn't see the real Errol Spence, and you don't want to see the real Errol Spence, so you saying no, I'm not fighting him at 154. And of course, undercard, willing to go up and fight Jermell Charlo as well. But you don't want to move up to fight Errol. And his guy, Stevenson, so cold, sat there and said they don't even want the Spence fight. That's why they're going to leave it at 147 so Spence doesn't accept the fight. They know Errol Spence can't make 147. They know it. And they sat there and said it. They came out their mouth and admitted it that Errol can't make 147, so we're going to leave the fight at 147 so Errol don't take the fight. And if I was Errol Spence, I would sign for the fight at 147 and still come in that bad boy at 150, 154. And tell him, look, I just missed weight. Look, you done went through this whole training camp. You mean to tell me you going to duck this big fight? We here. Cash Crypto, salute, King. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. But see, I really want to try to like Bud. I've been trying to. But for them to come out there and say it, now the Bud detractors, the Spence haters, they can't say nothing about excuses now. Because Bud and his team came out and said they don't want the Spence fight, so they're going to put it at 147 because they know Spence cannot make the weight at 147. So they knew that Spence couldn't make the weight the first time, but Spence tried to make the fight for us. So I don't want to hear that excuse thing now because Bud and his team just did the worst thing that they could possibly do by using that as a crutch to make the fight not happen. They don't want the Spence fight to happen, so they say, look, we're going to put the fight at 147. And see, Errol, just because he's so stubborn, he is still probably trying to make that weight. Because he believes in doing what he said he's going to do for the fans. And that's why we respect Errol and love Errol. And it's crazy because, I want to give Bud the benefit of the doubt because I love great boxing. I love the best fighting the best. I want to see who is truly the best at their best moments. And everybody that watched that Spence and Crawford fight knew that Errol Spence right there couldn't even beat a damn David Avenesian, honestly. That Errol right there couldn't break a promise. Wouldn't fight cancer. That Errol right there couldn't do nothing. And it was apparent. And it showed. And Bud skated away with an easy victory. But Errol signed the contract. He got in that ring. But the fact that you're not trying to let that man get his fight back at a weight where he's comfortable at, that makes me look bad at you. That makes me frown upon you. Because I started to look at you as the champion. You as the guy. You're not ducking no smoke. But now you're trying to duck the smoke. And I see if you want to continue the campaign at 147, but you're not. Because you just was on record saying you wanted to go up and fight Canelo at 168. You just on record saying you'll go up and fight Charlo for his belts at 154. So why can you not go up and fight Spence for his belt for 154? You act like you got all these choices like you such a big draw. Errol Spence is still giving you your big payday. Hoshana, salute. Spence don't give a damn about that undisputed Hoshana. It gives Spence a chance to get undisputed, but Spence can't make the weight. You got to realize, Hoshana, this is Bud's. Okay, Tyrese, no, it's not Bud's to accommodate Spence, but Bud's the one that told us that he would do the rematch at 154. He said in the ring. Did nobody tell Bud that he had to say that? He said that. And you know the funny thing about it? No, he doesn't have to accommodate Spence, but ain't nobody else going to be a bigger fight with Bud Crawford. Canelo said it ain't even worth him fighting Bud Crawford. He said Bud doesn't sell enough for him to fight him. And he doesn't. Before Bud Crawford fought Errol Spence, the man did a $500,000 gate with under $10,000, with under 10,000 buys against David Avenesian. The man had Showtime Sean Porter did under 200,000 pay-per-view with Sean Porter, who just came off of doing over 300,000 with Spence. And if he want to stay at 147, then there's Boots right there. Because Bud thinking he can order around the fights. No, you can't. You're still not a big seller. Most of Bud fans are Fire Stick users. They don't pay for the fights. Bud has not sold anything without Spence. Spence has sold without Bud. That's the difference. That is the difference, Tyrese. But I'm about to put them Tyrese, I'm about to put the link in there for you, buddy. Because you're not understanding the dynamic of boxing. The Eurobums at 168 didn't sell. Well, Canelo fought Caleb Plant at 168. They did 800,000. I mean, he fought Triple G, did 1.2 million. Canelo sells, and Canelo can pick who he wants to fight. That's the difference between Canelo and Bud, though. Canelo is the A side to anybody. So Canelo can pick and choose. Bud is not an A side. How you doing, Tyrese?
What's wrong with you, dog?
Peace and blessings to you, King.
Yeah, man. I just think he's doing it just to get more money, man. I think it's just a leverage tactic. I think they'll probably fight, but you know.
But you know something, bro?
What?
He got more money than he was supposed to get in the first fight. Like,
Hey.
I'm gonna tell you like this. They're not going to give him no more money because they didn't want to give him all that money in the first fight. And people sit there and say, oh, man, Errol gave him too much. Yeah, Errol gave him too much, but good. Look, I look at it like this. They both got paid the most they've ever been paid in that fight right there. So neither one can complain because even though Errol gave up so much, he still got over $35 million for that fight.
Well, that was because Errol had run out of options too, you know?
No, Errol didn't run out of options. They could have did Keith Thurman fight. Errol versus Keith Thurman. Look, bro, Errol versus Keith Thurman would have sold. Earl versus Virgil Ortiz in Dallas would have sold. Earl versus Fedor. Earl versus Tim Tszyu. Earl still had options. He still had a Brian Castano fight.
Hey, let's be honest.
I'm being honest. And you know, Earl was the main one on the Canelo contract.
Let me
if he would have left the Bud fight, he would have been fighting Canelo right now instead of Charlo. And it would have did a lot more numbers.
What EJ made versus Bud, it wouldn't have been the same as what he would have made for Keith Thurman. Everybody wanted to see that Crawford fight. That's why he took that fight. Now,
you really didn't say that, though, bro.
Now remember, Bud really don't want this fight. But I'm kind of thinking he don't want the fight, but he wanted the Canelo fight. But remember, it was EJ who was saying back when Brian Mannix interviewed him, he was like, well, he got to take that 60-40, 70-30, or whatever I give him, or I can go up and fight Canelo. Now, it's the same EJ. After the Yukas fight, his team offered Canelo, but Canelo turned the fight down.
No, actually, he's on the contract for Canelo right now, bro.
But that's out the window now after this loss.
No, he's still on the contract for Canelo. Right. What you don't realize, Errol Spence still has his fans, bro. Errol Spence can still sell out Dallas Cowboy Stadium. Right. Errol Spence is still the draw. After AJ lost to Ruiz, right? AJ was still the A side after that loss. After A side lost to Alexander Usyk, AJ was still the A side after that loss. Just because you beat the boogeyman, it don't make you the boogeyman right there. Crawford still not no big top seller. That's what I'm saying. Like Crawford did under 200 with Sean Porter coming off an Errol Spence fight. Sean Porter was hot right there.
Yeah, but you're talking about two heavyweights. You still got to account for the weight differential with Errol Spence and Canelo. Like you talking about two heavyweights. A heavyweight lost to a heavyweight. A heavyweight Usyk beating AJ. You talking about Errol who just lost to a guy.
Okay, Ryan Garcia. Okay, Ryan Garcia just lost the Tank, but Ryan Garcia is the A side to anybody under 147 not named Tank. He's the A side to Devin Haney. He's the A side to Shakur Stevenson. He's the A side to Teofimo, Loma, everybody.
Right. So you telling me motherfuckers who really don't want to see the Bud versus EJ fight, they gonna pay for the EJ versus Canelo fight?
EJ versus Canelo is still the biggest fight in boxing right now, bro.
Nobody want to see that, bro. After that man just got demolished the way he did.
Bro, first off, they know Errol wasn't at his right weight. Bud is in his third weight division. You know, most times a fighter, They can't stay in the division. Bud couldn't stay in 135 because he outgrew it. He couldn't stay in 140 because he outgrew it. Earl came into boxing as a
At
teenager at
47.
154. No, at 154. He
Right.
crunched down to 147. He's been in this division for over 12 years. Even Floyd Mayweather said Earl will be better at 160 or 168. Earl is killing himself making 147. He even said,
You know,
and then
Errol finna have the same problems Jared Hurd had. He stayed at 54 too long. Then when he got to 60, he was shit. Errol gonna have the same problem when he go up. Y'all
nah,
think?
he's not gonna have the same problem.
I'm telling you, bro. Jared Hurd stayed at 54 too long. When he got to 60, his ass was trash. Y'all think Errol just gonna go up to the next weight after he done been through his car crash? He done had more trauma. He done had more trauma than fucking Hurd. When he get to the next weight, the shit ain't gonna make a difference, bro. He's still
It's
gonna be
gonna make a
slow.
big difference. You know why?
No, it's not.
Because Earl's power has been in the bottle. People haven't even seen a fraction of his power right there, bro. Like Earl is fighting at 25% basically, bro. At 154, 160, you see a much better Earl because that's what he's 170, 160 when he's sparring these heavyweights and light heavyweights and putting them down. Everybody that spars Earl has to wear protection because that's how that man hits in the higher weights. But then he has to crush down to 147. That's why Devin Haney has pillow fists. I'm not a Devin Haney fan, but at 135, Devin Haney crushes so many goddamn pounds to make 135. He has no power.
Right. But Errol,
And
you
I'm not
talking about
saying
Errol
this will get
Spence?
much better.
You talking about Errol Spence, who's been doing it for over a decade? Like Virgil Hunter said, he already told him he had been taking care of his body. He's been abusing alcohol, other substances. Like, bro, this man is 30, and he's 34. Like, you think he just finna go up in his mid-30s and he finna be a new fighter? Nah, he don't, bro. That man done wasted his prime years. I don't know if y'all don't want to
Bro,
hear it or not. His prime died in that car crash, bro.
nah, I
I hate
don't
to
think
tell
so
y'all that.
because after that car crash, he still fought Danny Garcia. He still beat Yordenis Ugas in a prime fashion. So you can't
Man,
say that because he
bro,
fought them after the car crash.
I'm talking about his prime, bro. Like I tell people all the time, when you go back and look at Errol Spence, when you look at them Algieri fights, you look at them Lamont Peterson fights.
That was a different Earl.
Errol looked lean. He looked twitchy. His feet were
Yeah, he
better.
was great. He was great in
Right,
the fight. Lamont
right.
Peterson, yes.
Yeah, and then when you go to the Porter and the fucking Mikey Garcia fight, like he just started to look a little slow and
You want me to tell
methodical.
you why? Because in the Porter and Mikey Garcia fight, Earl didn't have strength and condition. No, hold on, let me tell you.
Yeah,
See, the Porter and Mikey Garcia fight, he had fat camps. He had to
right,
lose over 40 pounds and he didn't have strength and conditioning in the fights. That's
right.
why.
Okay,
That's
so
why he looked the way he did against Porter and Mikey Garcia. And, you know, he was coming off the accident with Danny Garcia. And then with the Ugas fight, the man, after he shook off that bullshit, he was looking real good.
all right, so you telling me after 5 years of doing that, you think moving up to a new weight, he just gonna get everything back? Everything
I
he
think he's
had
going to
back.
have more than what he had because he has a chance to be stronger. He has a chance to use more of his muscles. See, bro, I used to box and I was undefeated until I destroyed my head. But what I'm going to tell you about, right? When I used to box older and lighter, right?
Okay.
Like half the stuff I could do, I couldn't do because my muscles were constricted because I had to stay under a certain weight. And see, have you ever fasted before?
Yeah, I fasted.
What's the most you fasted for?
Probably about a day and a half.
Okay, well, look, I'm gonna tell you like this. I fasted for 10 days one time, right?
Okay.
My first 2 days, I could work out and everything, right? The third day, I couldn't because I was sore because my body wasn't getting the nutrients to heal from my muscles, so I had to stop working out, right? And each day, the pain will heal up after 2 days, but then as I'm moving around, I'm still burning off calories, right?
Right.
Like in that 10 days, I lost 47 pounds in 10 days on fasting, just drinking water. But even though I was able to move around, I couldn't exert my muscles too much because they didn't have the fuel to produce and do what they need to do. And the same day when I came off the fast, I would try to go play and do something else. And it took like a week for my muscles to fully recover where I could exert them the way I used to exert them. Because, you have to rebuild the damn keloids in the muscles. When you get that right there, you don't want to get into your urine. That messes up your kidneys and cause kidney failure because your muscles start breaking down the protein. Your
Right.
body start breaking down the proteins. And see, when you start breaking down proteins, it takes a lot more to heal that back. And see, Earl, when he had to break down that weight, you gotta realize the way they break it down is more dangerous because they get down to the least amount of fat that they can, and then in the last week, they'll dehydrate themselves from 70 to 75% water to under 30%. And you know, when you taking that water out your body under 30%, you taking the water out your brain, out all your pores, all that right there. Because you can lose 10 to 15 pounds of water.
Yeah.
Yeah, TZ Frank think it's ketones, yeah. But you lose 10 to 15 pounds of water, but that's dangerous. That's why you see as soon as they make weight, the boxes hit the scale and then they go and they start rehydrating.
Right.
See, Earl, with his body not being used, because the man has only had to make weight like one time in 3 years for the Ugas fight. See, he took too many times off because, you know, when you're young, you can go out there and go play basketball. You ain't even got to damn warm up. But once you hit 30, you know, you can't just do that. You got to damn warm yourself up. You got to get loose. You got to stretch, get limber and everything like that. See, Earl was cocky and Earl was arrogant. He felt like he could just come off the couch like he did with Daddy, like he did with Ugas and still do it, but he was fighting the elite fighter in Terrence Crawford. Crawford is not a bum. He's far from it. That man is an S-class fighter just like Earl is. And see, Earl always said 50% of me is better than 100% of these other fighters. And he found out the hard way that no, it's not. And Crawford taught him a lesson. That's why Earl sat there and said, I couldn't kick it to the next gear. He couldn't because his muscles were still drained. He was still done, bro. Like he making a weight that he could barely make. Hell, both of them missed the weight the first time. Crawford even missed the weight. And all he had to cut was like 7 pounds.
That was the same. That was the same. The same EJ that fought Danny, and he was reaching. He was off balance. He just fought an athletic southpaw.
No, it wasn't the same because he outboxed it.
Hold up. He just fought an athletic southpaw counterpuncher that could time and catch him. Errol ain't used to guys punching with him, punching in between the punches, and punctuating the punches. Like if you just take
you said that Ugas was punching with him.
Hold up.
Punching with him. But hold on, you brought Danny Garcia up, bro.
Right.
That was him coming off of a career-ending car accident, bro. Like that was his first fight back after a career-ending accident. So of course the Danny Garcia, the fact that he even got in the ring and won is a testament to himself. But you see, he looked a lot different in the Ugas fight. He destroyed that man. That man was punching with him, punching in between with Earl. And this is the same Ugas that beat Terrence Crawford, not once, but twice. Embarrassed him the second time and sent them home. This that same Ugas.
But Bud has gotten better. But like I say, what Errol does is not a weakness for Terrence. Like, if you look at the Jeff Horn fights, the Felix Diaz fights, just to take the name Errol Spence off of that and look at the fight styles. They all did the same thing, come forward, try to pressure Bud, be physical, and he countered all three of them.
Okay, let's say Jose Benavidez with one leg.
Well, Jose Benavidez didn't come to Bud. Like, the worst thing you could do for Bud is come to him, put him on his back feet. He gonna counter you. He gonna walk you into punches you don't see. That's what Bud's special.
Like, let's be for real about the situation. So you mean to tell me that the Errol Spence that fought Terrence Crawford? Now let's be honest now. So you say that's the same Errol Spence we've been seeing all these years?
That's the same Errol Spence y'all been seeing.
Bro,
since the car crash.
You said that was
the car crash.
So that was the same Errol Spence that fought you. Even Crawford admitted it. He said, "Man, Errol hit me," and I was like, "Where was the power?"
Exactly. You know why? You know why?
Nobody
said that. You know why he said that? Because Errol don't hit you with punches you don't see. Like you can see Bud putting his glove up and riding some of the punches back. Like, Errol don't really hit you with punches you don't see.
Okay, and look, that's what makes it even worse. Because Errol hits you with punches that you brace for. And he breaks you apart any damn way. That's the problem. If you get there and you brace him for a shot and you still get broke down, that's unbelievable power right there. This man is breaking people that's bracing for it. Like Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini used to catch a cannonball in his stomach when he braced for it. But then a man sucker punched him in the stomach and broke his damn spleen and killed him because he wasn't bracing for it.
But Bud wasn't there.
Listen, bro.
But Bud wasn't there to be consistently hit, though. Bud wasn't there to be consistently hit.
Bro, Earl hit that man clean, man. Earl didn't have nothing on it because his muscles had nothing. That's what I'm trying to explain to you. Like, you ever had that dream where you fight in your dream and you hit the motherfucker with everything you can and it's not doing nothing? It's like your punches are slow and everything, right? That's what it feels like to fight when you're weight drained. You have no power from your weights.
What happened when he hit Mikey over 300 times?
Okay, and first off, Mikey is a pound for pound. He was a pound for pound fighter. Plus, he is a Hall of Famer. Mikey Garcia is a Hall of Famer, first ballot. 4th division champion, Mikey Garcia. And Mikey Garcia decided that he wasn't trying to fight no more. He was trying to survive. And second, his brother was going to stop the fight. But they just wanted to be the first person to go 12 rounds with Errol. And when you bring up Mikey Garcia, what did Mikey Garcia do after the Errol Spence fight? He was a shell of himself. He took too many shots that he shouldn't have took. Mikey Garcia's career was over after that. After he got that $17 million for fighting Errol Spence, his career was over with. He made enough money and he was able to retire because he wasn't going to be able to box no more. And what Mikey Garcia tell you? He said Errol Spence is everywhere. He's on you mentally, physically. You can't get away from him. That's not the same Errol, bro. You capping if you saying Errol is the same.
Look, listen. A flat-footed fighter, small fighter.
Bro, what if you said Errol was flat-footed, man? He was on his toes. He was on his toes versus.
I'm talking about Mikey. I'm saying Mikey is a flat-footed, small fighter. I mean, you can sit here and say Mikey is a Hall of Famer. He's a pound for pound.
No, he is.
Hold on.
I'm saying facts.
The truth is, Mikey has a weight cap, and his weight cap is probably 140.
Well, he went up to 143 to beat Adrian Broner. You feel what I'm saying?
But
and
I'm saying,
he didn't go up there and beat Sergey Lipinets, you know. So you can't say what the man weight cap is.
If we being honest, his weight cap is probably about 140. That's where he belongs at.
Okay, I mean, he went up to 143 and beat Adrian Broner, who people say is a Hall of Famer as well.
Well, Broner weight is probably, he should be at 140. He should have never went up to 47 and fought McDonald. Okay, Broner weight cap was probably 42.
Okay, and you say, and you know, Bud, he started at 135, right?
Well, he was
listen, let me ask you a question. If Bud was at 135 right now, and he fought Tank, do you think Bud would beat Tank at 135 right now?
Beat the brakes.
Bud would be weight drained and he'd get the shit beat out of him by Tanks.
Bud was fighting at 40. Then he went down to 35.
That's what I'm saying. If Bud was to try to fight at 135 right now.
Oh, you say 35. Okay.
Yeah, if he would try to go to 135 right now and fight, what do you think the outcome would be if Bud go to 135 and fight right now?
Yeah. Probably be drained. He'd kill himself.
Okay, that's the same thing as Errol. Earl's been in this division for the same amount of time. Bud's done had the luxury of going up 3 divisions.
That's Errol's fault.
No, that's because Errol wanted to give the fans what he said he was going to give us, the fights that we asked for. He could have fought right after the Ugas fight, but the man sat there and he tried to drain Errol a little bit more, bro. He knew Errol was on his peak when he came off the Ugas fight. That's why he made him wait an additional 16 months. Hold on, let me drop the link because a couple more people want to come up here and talk to you. Hold on.
Go ahead.
But yeah, he knew that, and see, with him and his team, so cold, they just admitted it, bro. They sat there and said they don't want to fight Errol again, so they're gonna put the fight at 147 and hope that Errol don't take the fight because they know Errol cannot make that weight. That's an admission out of both of them. And this is what you got to understand. You just agreed to go up to fight Canelo Alvarez at 168. You said you'll go up and fight Jermell Charlo. So why not go up and fight Errol Spence? What's the difference? It's the biggest payday he going to get.
I honestly don't want to see the fight, but I think it's going to happen. I mean, I don't think 7 pounds is going to do anything for Errol.
I mean, that's why I said you haven't boxed before. Because 7 pounds is a big difference.
So let me ask you this.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you one question before you ask that, right?
Go ahead.
You said you don't think 7 pounds will do much, right?
No.
What happened when Chad Dawson dropped 7 pounds to fight Andre Ward?
He got knocked out.
But you know that was awesome, Chad Dawson.
Yeah, I know. I remember that. I picked Ward to win the fight.
Okay, but how did Chad Dawson look in that fight when he dropped 7 pounds?
Oh, he was drained.
So, but you don't think 7 pounds will do something, though, right?
Okay, but
exactly, bro. That's what I just want you to see that point. Hold on 1 second. hold on 1 second. Let me
Okay.
shout out my people real quick. Hold on. Shout out to Soul Truth, TZ Frank, King Von, Kello Della, the Dr. Mark, the Flawless Mentality, Skywalker Boxing, Thomas Hill, Tony Rome, I Don't Bite. Salute to everybody in the chat. PGB Big Dog, salute. Aaron Muhammad, salute, King. Cash Crypto. And yeah, if anybody else I missed, salute.
All
right, go ahead, bro.
Now you just brought up Chad Dawson coming down for one fight. But we got over a decade, maybe 3, 4, 5 years of Errol Spence draining himself. Chad Dawson,
and you know, he's here to get over.
Hold up. Chad Dawson was never the same after that fight. I just don't think Errol Spence is gonna ever be the same. Like I brought up the Jared Hurd, his weight struggles, and when he went up to the next weight. Why you think Spence gonna be any different than Jared Hurd?
Because first off, Spence and Jared Hurd are two different fighters, and second off, what we was trying to tell you, Spence, he denied the third fight because he said, I can't fight at 147. If I fight at 147, it's only one person that I will beat at 147, and that's Bud Crawford. He ain't trying to fight nobody else, and Bud drained him for 16 more months.
Hey, EJ team made the offer. That ain't Bud's fault. They wanted to clean up their side of the street. They wanted to do all this other stuff. They weren't gonna make the fight. So
hold on. I Don't Bite the link out there for you too. You said those are legacy wins. Beating Mel or Canelo makes him 3 times undisputed. Beating the Tim versus Mendoza makes him 4-time division champ. Bud beating Spence again does nothing for his career. Bud is still, hold on. Earl will still be the best name on his damn over Tim Tszyu and Mendoza or Mel. It'll be a better name because you fight Earl without the discrepancy. Earl is the real true 50-50 fight that Bud had. It's a damn discrepancy about it because he's not fighting the man where the man is on equal footing. And see, he sit there and told him himself. They sitting here saying it, I Don't Bite. They saying they know Earl cannot make 147. That's why they gonna fight him at 147. You can't sit there and go back behind that if you know everybody and their mama know that Earl wasn't the same in that fight. That's why fans of Bud is so bad that they got the win because they felt like they was robbed because they didn't get the best win. And that's why Bud, he knows he got over and he's not trying to get in the ring with Earl when Earl has full muscle capabilities. He doesn't want to see him at it fully capable. 2 Cent Boxing, salute. Al Booker, salute. All right, go ahead, bro.
Man, Errol ain't gonna be Errol ain't the same guy, bro. He different.
Okay, well then show it. You done made your biggest payday in your career. Versus Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford got more money than he's got his whole career combined in one fight.
Bro,
in one fight.
Go back in time and fight the pre-car crash Spence. Y'all gonna keep coming up with
Okay, bro. I mean, no. If he fights Earl at 154 and he do it, then he gets his props.
It's gonna be
but you can't get your props if you're sitting here draining a person. If you're not trying to fight the man sat there and said you won at 147. Now let's get our lick back at 154. If it was that easy, and it's gonna be the biggest fight you got on the table, ain't nobody else gonna pay Bud what Spence gonna pay Bud. Why not take it if it's that easy? What's the problem? You fought David Abernathy on an app.
Hey, at the Frank Martin fight, when Jim Gray asked him, said, how the weight coming? That man said the weight is good.
Of course he's gonna say that because he's promoting a fight, bro. He has to promote the fight. If he tells you I'm struggling with weight, then people not gonna want to see the fight, bro. It's the business of boxing. Don't act like you don't know the business of boxing, bro.
Well, don't tell us after the fight and expect us to pay for another fight, just like Andy Ruiz did.
Okay, and that's why the man is sitting there trying to fight him at the right weight. After the fight, Terrence Crawford could have said, no, we're gonna fight at 147. He said, no, I'll fight you at 154. So don't get mad that we holding you to what you said. Did nobody tell him to sit there and say, I will fight Earl at 154? Now you don't want the Earl fight, so you said, look, I know he can't make 147, so we're going to leave it here. So if Earl want to fight me, he got to come in handicapped again. That's not greatness. If you want to prove to everybody that you're the man, bro, if you want to prove to everybody you the man, bro, if you want to prove to everybody you the man and you the best, then fight that man where he has at least an equal footing.
Man, it's gonna be an excuse. It's Bud.
Okay, but bro, look, Canelo said he's not a big enough star to fight him. Canelo said Terrence Crawford ain't big enough to fight him. Jamel Charlo is not going to negotiate with Crawford. He's going to take this or it's not going to be no fight. So who can Terrence Crawford fight that's going to pay him 10 figures?
He gonna fight Errol Spence. He's just gonna get more money for the fight, if anything.
How you gonna get more money? You don't generate the money, though. That's the problem. Terrence Crawford is not no damn A-side big seller that generates money. You can't get for what you can generate. That's why I say the PBC needs to let Terrence Crawford do a pay-per-view fight with somebody, and let Errol go do a fight with Keith Thurman or somebody, and look at the numbers, and then let Bud get humbled, and then come back, and then let's see how he talking then, because Bud does not generate.
Man, y'all really upset about this shit,
bro. Ain't nobody upset about shit, bro. Like you said, you fight the man at 154, fight him.
Man, after he beat him at 54, y'all niggas be talking about he need to fight him at 60. He
bro, look, I just want to see the man get back. I just want him to do what he said he gonna do. If Bud wouldn't have said that he'd fight the man at 154, I would have said shit. But Bud said that. And then the only reason I'm bringing it up now, because I'm a boxing fan, and your closest friend comes out and says, we don't even want the Spence fight, so we're going to put it at 147. Hopefully, he denies the fight because he can't make it. That's what he said. That's why I'm on his ass.
Okay, so he said he want the Charlo, and he want the Charlo or the Canelo win. Okay.
But guess what? He won't get either one.
Okay.
If you don't want to give Spence a run, they won't give him either one.
Okay, period. So let that work itself out. If he don't want to fight,
okay, Thomas Hill, welcome to the stage. I think he want to holler at the Tyrese. Go ahead, Thomas.
Nah, Tyrese, I just want to know, bro. Like, why do you think people are mad? Because a man stated that he struggled to make the weight, and that he would honor the fight at that weight. Now all of a sudden he's backtracked and say, I only want to fight at 147. Well, if that's the case, then fight Boots. If you don't, you just fight your mandatory. Or if I can't fight at 147, I'll go all the way up to 168 and fight for either Canelo or what's an MC. He's doing a lot of side talking right now. Okay. And he's just showing himself who his true colors are. I mean, showing everybody who his true colors and what his true colors are. I mean, I don't have no problem with whatever he's doing, because ultimately Errol made concessions to make this fight because he wanted to hold himself to the standard of the word that he said. But in all actuality, it favored Bud, and it showed in the ring. But if you say that same Crawford is the same Crawford you saw in every other fight that he's fought, and you saying that this was expected, then how come Bud never did this against Porter, who did not train and who was ill prepared and has essentially the same style? Why he never opened up? Oh, go ahead.
I said he wasn't as snack strong as he was that fight.
but why he never opened nobody up that bad and make everybody look that bad? You can't tell me somebody who dominated the division for as long as he did is worse than these fighters that even got the better of Bud. Mean Machine got the better of Bud until he got him. Come on, bro. You know something was wrong with Errol. Errol wasn't fully at his best. And if Bud is the man he say he is, and everybody else and all the people that root for him, he wouldn't have no problem taking the 7 pounds, since you said it ain't enough. It ain't a lot. Taking the 7 pounds and having the fight that he said he would do, and that he said was hard for him to stay at 47-4.
I don't think it'll make a difference. But like you said, the man, he done did some double talking. All the fighters do some double talking. They do some shit they're gonna
renege. What double talking?
When did Spence double talk?
Double talking. What double talking has Errol done?
Then I tell you what double talking. Hold up. I'm gonna explain to you. Then after the Ugas fight, that man said, "I'm coming for Bud belts," and then Tom.
He did.
Let me talk. He said, "I'm coming for the belts." Tom Brown came out a month later and said, "We offered Errol Spence a fight." You think if Canelo would have took that fight, he would have fought Bud?
Yeah, because he said he was waiting. No, because look, bro, listen, bro, you're not spending this because he had a chance to fight Canelo before Bud, but guess what? He said, "I'm gonna finish my shit down here first." And after the Ugas fight, Errol Spence waited without a fight while Terrence Crawford fought David Avenesian. So all boxers don't double talk. It's just your friend Bud does. You can't give me an exact example where Errol has double talked. That's why he's called the truth.
Canelo declined the fight, so he had to fight Bud. And nobody wanted to see the Thurman fight. So the Bud fight was the fight he had to take.
Why didn't want to? He was trying to push the Thurman fight. What do you mean?
Didn't they leak the phone call? And he say, "I don't want to fight this dude."
It doesn't matter. The Thurman
Nah, it
fight
don't
would have
matter.
sold. The
See that?
Thurman fight would have did 10 figures easy.
The Thurman fight wouldn't have did what the Bud fight did.
Bro,
Stop lying,
how you
bro.
Thurman did motherfucking 500K over 500 with Pacquiao.
Show me somebody like you say. Bud don't sell. Show me a time when Thurman been on pay-per-view.
Thurman did over 500K with Pacquiao.
That's Pacquiao. Tell me a time.
Okay, well, you
Thurman
guys did under 300K with Pacquiao. So what do you
That's
say?
Pacquiao. Tell me a
Okay,
time
listen,
when one of them been on
bro,
pay-per-view.
listen. Can you comprehend? I said Thurman did over 500K with Pacquiao. You said that's Pacquiao. I said Ugas did under 300 with Pacquiao.
Let me ask you something. In those
Ugas
fights,
did under 300K with Pacquiao.
in those two fights, who
Ugas did under
okay, I get you
300K with
that.
Spence did over 300K with Ugas.
When you talking about Ugas and
Spence
Thurman,
did over
talking about Ugas and
300K.
Thurman,
No, listen, bro. I'm giving you logic. I'm giving you facts.
who name is first on the banner when Ugas and Thurman fought Pacquiao? Who name is first on the banner?
Listen to what I just said.
Who name is first on the
Bro,
banner?
listen. Are you going to let me give you logic? I'm giving it to you right now. When Pacquiao and Thurman, it was Thurman versus Pacquiao because Thurman was the champion. Thurman was the champion.
Who is
Thurman
the
was the champion. Thurman was the champion. But listen to this, bro. I'm giving you two fights that was correlated. Spence and Ugas did over 300. Pacquiao and Ugas did under 300. So Spence and Ugas did more than Pacquiao and Ugas. So Manny Pacquiao and Thurman did over 500K. So if numbers don't lie, that means Spence and Thurman would have did over Pacquiao and Thurman. Over 500K. That's logic.
Thurman hadn't been out of the ring for
that's
long.
How they do fights.
No, Thurman and EJ wasn't finna do no numbers, bro. You know that.
Thurman and Pacquiao did 500.
You don't think that Thurman and EJ would? You don't think that Thurman and EJ would have done good numbers?
It probably maybe would have done maybe 30 or 40% of what Bud and EJ did.
No. Thurman and Pacquiao did. Bro, I'm giving you the numbers. You said Thurman and Pacquiao did 500 because it was Thurman, right? I mean, because you said it was Pacquiao. Then I told you Pacquiao and Ugas did under 300. But Ugas and Spence did over 300. So Ugas and Thurman stands on, as numbers go, stands to do over 5, just like Pacquiao and Thurman. And people been asking for Spence and Thurman since 2015, bro. Spence versus Thurman was the fight before Bud got there. It was Spence versus Thurman. That's what everybody wanted.
Yeah, I think
still want Spence versus Thurman.
I think it would do.
Say that won't sell, bro.
Man, we've been
capping, bro.
Let me ask Tyrese. Do you think that this is a better fight, Spence versus Thurman, or Boots versus Crawford? Which one do you think is the better fight? Boots versus now. Who you think gonna do better numbers? Spence versus Thurman or Boots versus Crawford?
Spence versus Thurman or Boots versus Crawford? Probably Spence versus Thurman.
Yeah, it's gonna most definitely do better numbers because you got two bigger draws in that fight than you do underneath them with Boots, Crawford, and Boots. But that doesn't necessarily mean that that's a bad fight. It's just who sells. And right now, unfortunately, your boy Bud, he's not a draw. That's not a discredit to him as a fighter. He's a great fighter. He just doesn't bring people in. So he needs to line himself up with people who bring people in. That's why right now listen to the names that he's calling out. Tank Davis, Canelo. Those fights he not really gonna fight. Come on, he gonna go all the way down to a weight that's comparable for them both to fight on Tank, and is he gonna go all the way up to fight?
Tank dude. Tank calling out Anui and Josh Taylor and like
Anui called out Tank. Anui called out Tank.
Well, you know what I'm saying? They do all the name association shit when they get a
Bud Crawford wants to fight Tank, bro. First off, Tank's the A side to Bud.
Crawford don't want to fight Tank. Tank just be talking shit. That man, y'all.
Crawford will if they said that they'll fight him at 140, Bud will go to 140 try to fight Tank to get a payday.
He will fight him.
Looking for a payday, bro.
He will fight him for the payday.
Bud said he got to come to 147. I ain't going.
And guess what? Tank ain't got to do that because Tank is the A side to Bud.
Well, the fight ain't never gonna happen though.
Exactly.
Tank the A side to everybody.
Anybody want to hop up here as well? Go ahead, Thomas.
And I'm just saying, Tank the A side to everybody but Canelo right now. So he
Facts.
ain't going. Yeah, he ain't going for that. He definitely ain't gonna make no concessions.
Oh yeah, Tank.
But this is the same Bud that said he wants to fight Teofimo Lopez, though.
When Bud
Yeah.
said,
Yeah. Oh, we don't want to talk about that, right?
when did he say that?
So you ain't hear about Bud wanting to fight Teofimo Lopez.
I saw Teofimo made himself the super champ at 140. I didn't hear about him wanting to fight
How
Teofimo.
he make himself the super champ?
How he gonna make himself the super champ, bro?
Teofimo
They
applied for.
had been talking about it, and WBO made him the super champ because Crawford expressed interest in fighting Teofimo. Now this is the Teofimo that's a 140-pound champion, and so he wants Teofimo to come up, but his mandatory is Jerron Boots Ennis. So what he wants Teofimo to become his WBO mandatory so he can fight that over Boots Ennis? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know what he's gonna do, but he showed getting a lot of publicity.
Him
For the
versus
wrong
Teo
reason.
won't sell. I tell you that now. Him versus Teofimo won't do over 300.
Hey, I don't know what he's gonna do, but he's still getting a lot of publicity. It's better than no publicity at all.
Yeah, but it's the wrong publicity for him if you want to make these fights.
Saying Floyd Mayweather, yes, all publicity is good publicity. But for Terrence, when you get the publicity of doing shady stuff and not being a man of your word and everything, that's different. See, Floyd was talking junk, but he was backing up in the ring fighting champions. He wasn't trying to drain people. Floyd Mayweather walks around 145, 146, and he was fighting at 154. So like people punching, he's punching up his weight. While other people punch down 20 and 30 pounds, Floyd fighting above his walk around weight. That's greatness. That's greatness right there.
So what happened?
Fighting above his weight class.
What happened July 29th wasn't greatness?
You say what?
What happened July 29th? That wasn't greatness?
It'd be even greater if you do it at 154.
Yeah, he gonna do it.
Tyrese, man, ain't nobody took away from what Bud did in that ring, bro. Nobody looking at that. Say,
King, welcome to the chat. 817. Go ahead, bro.
Yeah, nobody can look and say what Bud did wasn't special that night, bro. Nobody. All we're saying is that he did it against somebody who wasn't right that night. Now, that don't take away from what he did in that ring. He was phenomenal in that ring. But, I mean, the whole time, he's always been the smaller fighter. In that ring, did he look like he was a smaller fighter? He looked like he was a giant.
He was the bigger fighter that night, bro.
He looked strong that night.
Yeah, he was snatch strong.
He looked strong, bro. I'm not taking nothing away from Crawford.
But you know what Snack does? Snacks makes performance enhancers that's not detectable by drugs. You know that, right?
Mm-hmm. I heard all the
no, that's what they do. That's what Snack Strong means.
And everybody talking about Victor Conti saying 80% of the fighters on PEDs and all. I've heard it all. I just
817. Welcome to the chat. 2 Cent Boxing. Welcome. Go ahead. Salute 817.
Oh yeah, cook up.
What's that? I just wanted to slide in and say I think it's quite apparent. A lot of people won't talk about it. Ain't gonna talk about it because, like you say, the results of the fight and the fact that people will feel like you're trying to take away from what happened in the ring, but you can't take away from what happened. Right? Both the men had a date, right? Regardless as to how it got done or whatever, both the men had a date. And Errol, unfortunately, wasn't the Errol that we all know and we all seen, right? But to say to avoid the clear and apparent facts that this had been a strategy that had been employed, you know what I'm saying, by not only Team Crawford, but the other boxers in that era, of that ilk, in that age. I'm talking about your Garcias, your Thurmans, and your Porters. They all knew that Errol was a big 147-pounder, and that soon he was gonna go to 154. And they all did their best to try to avoid him for as long as they could. You know what I'm saying? In those hopes. I think Errol coming right off the Ugas fight wanted Bud, and Bud knew if he fought him right off the Ugas fight, he might be fighting that same Errol we expected to see. Why not prolong it and hold him out and dry him out and keep him at a lower weight to get closer to 147 whenever the fight comes, right? So that's why, again, another reason why I was sick about them giving him an app to run the I've been sneezing and be able to do that on blackbutt.net. But at the end of the day, I've been telling y'all, this nigga's a hoe, bro. He's a hoe. You feel what I'm saying? Both these men are built in a way as to which they felt like if they lost, they would want they get back. You know, some of you niggas was raised if you took an ass whooping, you didn't want no more. You did, but some of us was raised to feel like he just got the best of me
You got to
that
keep
time.
fighting, keep it your way. That's how I
Fact.
was raised.
Facts, you know what I'm saying? And both of these niggas was built that way. That's why they signed that shit into their contract. Earl made a lot of concessions to that motherfucker just to get the opportunity to go undisputed. He gave up a lot. The one concession he didn't give up was the fact that if I do lose, I want the rematch at a weight that I'm comfortable with because I've been sacrificing to stay at this motherfucking weight. I know I'm not at my best at this weight, but I want this so bad, and I'm a man of my word so bad that I'm going to risk it. You feel what I'm saying? So if both of them ain't sat down and agreed to something, then that's what the fuck a man should stand on. And any nigga that makes an excuse for that, right, kind of lends you a view into their own self, right? And then you start thinking about the motherfuckers that you fuck with on a daily basis and how the integrity of y'all relationship is, right? And then think about if your word is your bonds with your mans and them, and then they break their word because they on top. How would y'all relationship continue? If you allow bitch nigga shit in your life, you'll allow excuses to come in regards to this. If you don't, you know where I'm coming from. That's what I got on it. Real men move a certain way. The boy
Damn, I
been a hoe.
said it better. I couldn't have said it better than that right there. Real men move in a certain way, bro. When you don't move like a man, man, this is a man's sport right here. This is a man's sport.
He
And
Antonio
your
Tarver
word,
Jr.,
your
bro.
word, all you got is your word, man. And this man gave us his word, and he made all these concessions, even a fucking coin toss, to make sure we get a fight. This man was gonna walk away over a fucking coin toss. You've never in the history of boxing seen an A side give up as much as Errol Spence gave up, but he did it because he's a man of his word. And now Bud can't even keep to the word that he gave us in the end of the ring. So I would do it at 154. Like, what's the problem? If you would do 168 for Canelo or 154 for Jamil, why not Earl? What's so
But
bad
see,
about Earl?
that's the issue. It wasn't a matter. It wasn't him giving his word. It was him playing and setting up something. So I'm gonna say, oh, we could do the fight at 154 so Spence can relax. And then when it's time to make the fight, oh no, 147. That wasn't his word. It was strategic. He knew exactly what he was
You
doing.
know what I would
As
do
soon as he said that, I said he lying. Like I knew it off the rip.
if I was Spence? I agree to the fight. If he won't fight me at 154, I just come in that bitch overweight on fight night.
Yeah,
It ain't
that's what I was thinking.
not that money.
Or
It
you
ain't
know what I was thinking?
not.
Maybe Crawford might pull that. Be like 147, and then he come in there overweight. You just never know.
It's not like you gonna deny it. You know, went through the training camp and everything. Like you want to be a snake? Hell, snake can bite back too. Like hell, I would come to that motherfucker. Look, okay, I paid $1 million fine for being overweight, but it ain't like you're not gonna fight because you just went through this whole training camp. I told, and in the contract, they got 154 in there, so Earl could say I tried to make it and I couldn't make it. You knew I couldn't make it. You knew I couldn't make it. It was in the contract. So it ain't like I breached contract actually, because I told you I'm gonna have problems making this weight. I told you after the first fight, I had problems making this weight. Everybody's seen that I had problems making this weight. So if we go to this fight and I don't make 147, that's on you because I told you I couldn't make it. But you want to push the issue. So we here now. Are you gonna fight or not? So
And it
you gonna pull out for your fans and tell them you don't want to fight because I'm a couple pounds overweight when I told you I couldn't make the weight?
and it's like he's sabotaging. It is like you sabotaging the fight because you got your people tweeting out, "Oh, we gonna make it at 147 because we know it's a waste of time." Like you're promoting a fight. Why would you promote your fight as a waste of time? Please tell me who that makes sense to.
How is it a waste of time if it's your biggest payday ever and you about to get your second biggest payday? What type of waste of time? No, David Avanesian was a waste of time. No, Amir Khan, that was a waste of time. Nigga, you get you getting 8 figures to fight this man. When has 8 figures been a damn waste of time when your first time getting 8 figures was the last time you fought this man? Regardless, how you gonna say it's a waste of time? This is the most you ever got. That's what I'm saying. Like people they double talk and then they say shit that's not correct what they saying. You said it's a waste of time, but it's more money than you've ever made. You say your whole career was a waste of time. If that's the case,
Man, I just know
That's
that.
absolutely, absolutely.
I just know that it's kind of hard to just see how this man is, the things he has said and the way he's moved, and you defend this because it's, to me, you know, it's hard to defend. It's hard to say that I can see where he's coming from. The man just got him the most money he's ever made in his career, and if
combined,
you
the most money he's made in all his fights combined.
combine, and you said you thanked him because he was able to allow you guys to fight, and now you won't extend the same courtesy, and I just don't understand why that's the case, and these people that are his supporters don't see it. Because man,
And
whenever
on
I
top of
see,
that,
go ahead.
on top of that, why are you messing up the potential for a trilogy? We could have made 100 M's fighting each other.
Exactly,
Yeah,
and this thing that gets me right, like 817 say, the people that's defending this shit that he's doing, that makes me look at your character like you would pull some fake shit like this as well. Because my dad wasn't with me all my life, because him and my mom went together, but I got to see my dad on the regular. And my dad taught me how to be a man. And it's certain things men just don't do. All right, Tyrese, but it's certain things men don't do. And once you tell somebody something, you got to stick by your word. That's what Al Pacino said. All you got is your word and your balls. And you shouldn't break neither for nobody.
well, like 2 Cents just said, he's messing up a classic trilogy setting where you can possibly make even more money than the first and the second combined. So it's a good. I don't know. And on top of that, I think he's further messing up negotiations with other fights as well.
He got other people not wanting to talk to him. I mean, not
Bud
wanting
is
Canelo.
retiring after this, y'all.
Look,
He,
Canelo said that Bud ain't even worth him fighting. Canelo saying that he's not a big enough draw to fight. Jamel ain't gonna negotiate with him. Jamel gonna say this is what it is, take it or leave it. And see, that's the problem with Bud. He's got a jealous streak. See, he thought just as he beat Errol, he was gonna be the top dog #1, and he's not. You
not
didn't
because of how
automatically
you
just
beat
take
him.
Earl's spot. See, he thought he was gonna automatically be the cash cow because he beat Earl. No, you don't move the
But it's
same way.
because of how he beat him and how he's going about things now. Like he ruined that. He ruined it
Exactly.
as soon as people was like, "Oh, okay, we kind of like Bud." Here he go with the shenanigans.
Exactly. I was trying to give him the benefit of the doubt. I was trying to daggone. I was like, okay, Bud was done wrong. He was misunderstood. All right, now Bud, he got his accolades. He got his big fight. Now let's see how he do. And then he turns around and spits in the face, bro. He spits in our face because he back to the same way. And like the story I said the other day, when the old woman picked up the snake out the ice because he was dying, and she took that snake home and she brought his ass back to health. And when springtime came, the snake bit her and killed her. She asked the snake, "Why the hell did you kill me?" He said, "When you picked me up, you knew I was a snake." And see, Bud showed us who he was a long time ago. We just thought he was gonna be something
Yep.
different. No, he showed us exactly who he was. And we took that and we thought we could make something different out of Bud. That's not Bud. He showed you who he was. We the ones, we like a woman, we like women who try to change men. Men just ain't gonna change if they don't want to. We like women who try to change me. Hold on. Men just ain't gonna change if they don't want. Y'all make sure y'all smash that like button if y'all ain't hit the like button, please.
And this is clearly not about money at this point, because you're saying, oh, you could pay me more to fight at 154, and maybe Spence was probably like, all right, cool, and then it was like, nah, never mind, we just gonna do it at 147.
So let me ask you guys this: do you think because he's oversigned to the PVC, you think that he's barking up the wrong tree with them? He's
Yeah.
trying to play hard.
Absolutely.
You see what happened with Andy Ruiz, and you see how they froze Keith Thurman out for a minute. Like, they don't play with you playing with that money. They will freeze your ass out over the PBC. Andy Ruiz, what he just did with that Deontay Wilder fight, best believe Andy Ruiz gonna be looking for someplace else to fight. They not about to play that game.
I wonder who's advising him, because he's negotiating against his own
He
betterment.
got Al Heyman now, but see, he also got the people that's in his ear. Bud think he's smarter than the average bear. Like, he's better than Yogi. You feel me? Bud think he knows every trick of the trade. Like, can't nobody get over on him. And that's what happens. People think they too smart, bro. They be too smart for their own good, and they end up messing themselves up. And that's what Bud is doing. Like, he has a great opportunity. PBC started promoting him. They started running campaigns for him. Like, they was pushing the Bud narrative. Like, they was trying to push Bud as the next big thing. But Bud, he cuts
just
off
killed
his
it.
nose despite his face. He sees that, he like, something? The hell with that. They wasn't pushing me like this before. So, I'm a sabotage. And he sabotages himself. That's what he does. He sabotaged himself.
He's taking it out on the wrong people.
Exactly. Like, I hate to see a man sabotage everything that he's worked for. Like, I was saying to myself, I was like, finally Bud get a chance to showcase what he's really like, because I thought Bud was a hell of an athlete, but I felt like he had a bad shape because he was signed to Cameron Duncan, and he was also signed to Bob Arum. Like, Cameron Duncan been getting money off of Bud Crawford since he first started, and he gonna keep on getting money off Bud until Bud retires. You feel me? Because that was the contract that he had. And I felt kind of bad, but then I'm like, okay, now Bud get this get
Bud
right.
signed to 360.
Yeah, Bud signed the
he had a terrible contract.
Yeah, he signed a 360. Wasn't nobody fucking with Bud. He didn't make the Olympics or nothing. Who got sent his ass home twice. So, Bud really didn't have no name. He had to go out there and push what he had to push. And now, like, damn. We try to give Bud the benefit of the doubt, and then he just lets that nigga mode kick in, and he reminds us why he's not a big draw.
And that's probably why he involved with so many shady people also.
Exactly. Like, Daniel Kinahan, he's still involved with him. And see, and what's crazy is Shakur running up the same tree. Like, Shakur just went at Frank Martin for not accepting 4 times the most amount. They wanted to give Frank Martin $1 million to fight Shakur, right? And Shakur get $5 million. And Shakur sitting there talking about, and this is what Shakur said. Shakur said he's getting 4 times his biggest fight. So they said Frank Martin only got $250,000 was his biggest fight, right? Well, now, Shakur, you contradicting yourself, because Devin said he was trying to give you 4 times your biggest fight, and you didn't want to accept it. So how can you throw that at Frank Martin when you just had the exact same situation with Devin, trying to give you more than what you've ever made, and you didn't sign that? So see, it's funny how they do this, and it comes right back to bite them on their ass.
I think
Shakur, you just did the same thing with Devin, and now you don't realize you contradicted yourself with Devin.
I feel you.
I usually don't get involved in the Shakur and Devin situation because I want to see him fight, but nigga, you just did the exact same thing. You talk about Frank Martin denied 4 times his biggest payday. You just denied your payday versus Devin.
Yeah, only thing that I will say about that is that he openly got up in interviews and talked about how Shakur messed up. Should have took the offer. That's where it looks a little bit sketchy for Frank. But I agree. I don't believe that he ducked the fight. I just don't believe that.
Okay,
but people.
Shakur, people ain't looking at it like this, right? This is the way people looking at it. Okay, Frank just ducked 4 times his biggest offer, right?
Yeah.
But Shakur, you getting 5 million. So if you get 5 million, I'm getting 1 million. Nigga, you 80-20 in me. You are not 80-20 better than me. See,
No,
people don't realize that.
I
Like,
feel you up. I feel you
no,
on
I'm
both
just saying,
sides.
like, look, that's how Shakur's playing on the perception. Because if Shakur fought, if Frank Martin fought Devin Haney, right? Devin Haney couldn't 80-20 Frank Martin. Like, come on, man. You're not 80-20 better. You thinking just because you giving somebody their biggest paycheck. That's like Earl and Crawford. Crawford's biggest paycheck was motherfucking $7 million. He just went against Earl and got over 35. So he should have only got like 21, really. But he didn't. That's what I'm saying. It doesn't matter what your biggest payday is. It's a matter what you can produce with who you fighting against.
Yeah.
If Errol Spence is fighting against Canelo, or if Caleb Plant's fighting against Canelo, then it's a different ball game. It's a different percentage. You're not about to get 5 million and I get 1. I don't give a damn how much my biggest payday is, because you're not 5 times better than me. You're not no 80% and I'm 20%. I don't give a fuck what you say. It might be my biggest payday, but still, you're not about to make $4 million off of me, because
Nah,
they're coming to see my name as well. Because
I
Frank
agree.
has made a following.
I
Frank
agree
has
with you.
somewhat of a buzz. And they looking at it like, we just gonna give our buzz away for you to make 5 million and we make 1?
I
Hell
agree.
no.
I agree with you.
Now
The
Shakur
only
could have
thing,
did 3.5 to 2.5. That's him still getting 3.5. That's his biggest payday. Like, come on, man. People be trying to run people down just because of a big fight.
yeah, nah, I agree, and I mean, I'm just saying that with him going openly and speaking on somebody else's situation,
Yeah,
then
he
that's
messed up with that right there. But what I'm saying is, like, people always talk about people getting their biggest numbers, their biggest fight. But Shakur, what you fail to mention is you fighting Frank Martin would have been your biggest payday too. It'd have been double what you've already made.
I hear
But they
you.
fighting for an empty belt. They fighting for a vacant belt. And you trying to 80-20 this man for a vacant belt? Nah, 60-40.
It just to me it sets the baseline because ultimately I want to see Tank fight these fighters. So I say Tank should offer these people whatever, and because they
Now, if
spoke on
Tank
other
offer
people.
Frank Martin 80-20, Tank can offer Frank Martin 90-10. It is still been, if Tank offered Frank Martin 90-10, bro, that shit still would be 10 times more than what Frank's ever
Oh,
made.
facts. Hell, he
You
offered
can't argue
Devin
that.
5% is still gonna be more than he's
But
ever
see,
made in
the
his
problem
career.
is you got people arguing about being second string. Like, these motherfuckers is arguing about being an A-side when they're not even A-side fighters. Like, y'all
Yeah,
haven't even did pay-per-views to be A-side yet. Like, the only people that should be arguing A-side is Ryan Garcia, Tank Davis, Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder, Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence. Everybody else is not no pay-per-view star. Not even Terrence Crawford. And see,
well,
what I was trying to explain to Tyrese, he's sitting there talking about Earl and Spence with the soul. Earl and Spence probably would have did just as good as Bud and Earl. Because Spence versus Thurman was the fight. Spence versus Thurman was the fight. Floyd pushed that fight. We've been watching that fight for a long time. I've been wanting that fight since 2014, 2015. And like I
honestly,
explained to him, Keith Thurman did 500,000 with Manny Pacquiao.
and I'm
So
gonna
then,
say that would have been the bottom number for their fight if they would have fought. It would have been at
exactly. And
least
then he
five.
tried to say, and look, he tried to say that's because it was Pacquiao. So then I
No,
sat there and said, well, you know, Pacquiao and Ugas did under 300K. And that's Manny Pacquiao. But Earl did over 300 with Ugas. So that showed that Earl had a bigger push with Ugas than Pacquiao did. So Earl versus Thurman, by pay-per-view numbers and the way they schedule it, should have did better than Pacquiao versus Thurman because people been calling for that Earl and Thurman fight. You feel what I'm saying?
and on top of that, Thurman gonna sell the hell out of that fight too.
Exactly. And PBC, that's why PBC wanted to push that fight. That fight probably would have did better than than Bud and Spence. Because Spence and Thurman have history. That shit would have been exciting. That shit would have been thrilling. Thurman and them would have been going back and forth. Because you know Earl really don't give a fuck about damn Thurman. And you know, he been wanting Thurman for years. That would have been a blockbuster fight. So that's why I wish he would have took the Thurman fight.
Facts.
King Von, it depends on who he fighting with. Because if he fight Esau Cruz, I give him about 350, maybe 400. Because it'll be just Tank selling on his own. Because Esau Cruz, man, he ain't nobody I want to see. Tim Stoudemire, my guy. I'm glad you finally popped in so I can do this for you. There we go. But yeah.
I know Tim will come up here and cook.
Yeah, Tim Stark, that's my guy. He a real Bud fan. And he just told me something today. He said, hell, and he's a Bud fan, but he told me Boots will beat Bud the 11th.
Oh, no, he's always maintained that. He said that.
Yeah, but that's all I'm saying, bro. Like, I try to like Bud, but then he does stuff like this, and then you got So Cold coming out talking about, yeah, we not fighting. So why the hell did you tell us that, though? But this is what I be telling Bud fans. You can't say we don't have an excuse when they try to set the fight at 147 to make Errol not take the fight. So if you know Errol don't want to take the fight at 147, then you must know that Errol can't make 147. Because that's kind of like saying, that's like offering somebody something because you know they're going to turn it down. You really don't want to damn do it, but you just do it because it sounds good. And then your team coming out saying that it's a waste, but it's the biggest fight you got. And see, that's what I'm saying. He felt like he's been done wrong for so long, and now he wants to stick it to everybody else. Like he wants some validation just so he can check somebody, and that's what it is. He wants to be able to tell somebody no. He wants to tell somebody he's the top dog. He wants to show everybody that I'm running shit now, and it just don't work like that, bro. You beat Errol Spence in a fight, great, but you didn't even beat the real Errol Spence. It looks like, bro, like. Come on. You see people sit there doubt your repertoire. Any great fighter, Floyd Mayweather, anybody, when it was a question or a doubt about any of their victories, they immediately ran that shit back. And at the end of the fight, you told us you was going to run that shit back. And now when it's time to run that shit back, now you talk about you have something different. Like, damn. We supported you. We bought the fight. We hear everything you saying. I mean, you want your flowers. Then if you want your flowers, go out there and give it to us, man. Give us what we asking for.
That's a fact.
Errol made the first fight. Errol had to do concessions and make the first fight. Now, you said you appreciate what Errol did. You said it wouldn't have been a fight without Errol. Now it's time for you to make the second fight then. If Errol made the first fight, then you be the man to make the second fight. It's like
or if not, then go on and fight Boots at 147.
Yeah, if you're not gonna fight Errol, then fight Boots. Because if you don't fight nobody else besides Errol or Boots, I'm not about to pay and watch you fight another bum. Period. I've done bought 4 fights from Terrence Crawford. I done bought 4 fights from Terrence Crawford. And I'm telling you now, I'm not paying to watch him fight a bum.
Yeah, because isn't it a time frame?
If you're not fighting Errol or Boots, I'm not trying to watch it, dog. And I hope they don't give him a big guarantee. They make because he at the PVC now. So he about to see you don't get them guarantees. You eat what you kill. And now he about to see a big difference in his revenue. Because you ain't got Errol to carry the fight with you. You're going to have to carry it on your own name. And on your own
I honestly believe he understands that. That's why the names, if you look at the name, he's calling out the names that generate the money. So I know he's aware of that. He's definitely
and all the names that he called out, none of them want to fight him. Errol, he the only one.
I'm just afraid that he's going to alienate himself.
See, look, he beat Errol, yes, but everybody knows Crawford still is not a big draw. He's not. Like, if he'd have beat Errol, ran it back, beat him again, and he wouldn't have been able to function, yeah, his name would have grew. He would have had no choice but to grow. He out here doing great shit. But when you out here and you moving all funny style and you acting like this, that's different, man. People don't look too kindly to that. And the ones that do it, then they flawed anyway. Because there's a lot of flawed individuals that's okay with what's going on out here. And that makes me question their manhood, honestly. Because if you can sit here and defend this bullshit, then there's something wrong with you. And I
They
wouldn't want
defending it too.
huh? You say what, bro?
I
No,
said
that
no, they
wasn't
really
me. That was
defending it too.
Yeah,
Just
defend that
trying to
shit.
make it seem like it's okay to fight a man at a knowingly not only fight him at a disadvantage, but to continuously knowingly put him at a disadvantage, and then want some type of credit.
And then to admit that you know it's a that's what got me though. I would have never been bringing it back up until they sat there and said they know he can't fight at 147, so we're gonna put the fight at 147. So you knew that Earl had a problem making that 147. So you knew that that fight was already in your favor. That's why you took the fight in the first place. Because you already knew this. You done see or you done seen that he having problems making this weight. And you knew this. That's why you finally decided it was time to fight after the Frank Martin fight, after Earl got another car accident, after you see that Earl didn't look the same. After you done made him wait 8 months after the Ugas fight. You like, yeah. So now we're gonna make him wait another 8 more months till the fight come. Yeah. And he did that. He did that shit too. And people are giving him credit. But like I said, they both had a fight. They got the ring. Earl knew what he signed for. He lost. But
Yeah, and
he
that's the
also
bottom
said
line. That's the bottom line.
he figured that was the only way he was gonna get that man in the ring. Because any other way, Bud was not getting that ring. And Earl wanted to touch him that bad that he was willing to put himself at a disadvantage just to get in there with him. But then he realized that him at a disadvantage was not a good look. And he paid for it. Now Earl actually get his lick back at 7 more pounds. And you talking about it's a waste. Then you contradicting yourself because usually you like to get the free easy money. You fought David Abernethy, that was a waste. Nobody asked for David Abernethy. You fought all them other easy fights because it was easy money. So if Errol Spence is easy money, get the fucking easy money. When have you known somebody to pass up easy money? You passed up an easy 8 figures?
Yeah.
Like if it is that easy, get that 8 figures. Shit. I don't
And
know
the
nobody
only
that's gonna pass up an easy 8 figure.
and there's nobody else that's gonna get him that money. So
Nobody
that's what I'm
else.
saying. I don't. I just hope he doesn't alienate himself for these remaining fights that he has on this contract, because I know that the people who have generated money for the PBC, they're gonna definitely have favor towards it. Errol Spence is
Exactly.
one of them. So why, if you're on their format, are you doing this when they've got you the most money you've ever seen in your whole dang career combined?
And they
So,
can't say that you generate money because you was on there with a blockbuster like Spence. You haven't even had a chance, you haven't even had to carry the show by yourself yet. But you
Do
acting like
y'all did y'all ever think that Crawford is doing this on purpose? Like he wants to blackball himself? Because that's how I felt with the negotiations. Like I feel
yeah,
like he doesn't want
yeah.
them to continue to negotiate with him. Like he
I
wants
feel
them
like
to walk away.
you know how I be
Honestly,
thinking. I feel like that he's God's gift and that everybody has to do his bidding. Like that's what he's always wanted. And he thinks that the win over Earl got him that, but it didn't.
well, also
Like,
I understand the angle she's coming from too. It also looks like he's a plant trying to mess the stuff up over there, like try to slow things down over there because they're doing so well. Everybody been plotting on their demise, speaking on their demise, but the reality of the things says that they're flourishing and they're thriving. So insert a plant, and we can probably try to fabricate some of the things that's going on over there.
how could you do that when he sat there and came out and said this is the most money he ever made with the PBC and he said this is the best way to do it?
No, no,
He
I
said,
agree.
and he got his biggest paychecks.
Definitely got his biggest paychecks. Now he's trying to seed stuff up.
Now he feel like because he beat Earl, Now he feel like that he's the ace. See, that's his problem. He always wanted to be the A side. He wanted to be able to call his fights like Canelo and Charlotte. Like, dude, you ain't on that level yet. And see, that's what he's
See,
not understanding. He's not understanding that he's not on that level because he
I
felt
think
like Earl had all these privileges. How Earl could just call anything he wanted, just like Earl said he wanted the Crawford fight, and he made it happen. So now Crawford want to see if he can flex like that. Look, I want this fight, and I'm gonna make it happen. But you're not Earl Crawford. You haven't did the things that Earl did. You didn't make motherfucking $40-some million with Mikey Garcia. Like Earl made, Earl and Mikey Garcia both made 17 million, and the PBC made like 20 million in that fight. You're not doing that, bro. You're not making the PBC that type of bread. Now, when you
man, he gonna
start making the PBC that type of bread, then you can do that.
yeah, he gonna find out too because he's cutting down his options for big fights.
Yeah, like he didn't want to fight Keith Thurman. That was a big fight for him. Like, I don't know why people keep thinking Keith Thurman don't sell. Keith Thurman has a name.
Yeah, I
Like,
guess.
let me drop this link. Anybody want to hop up here with us? But yeah, that's the crazy thing about it, though, man. It is bad for boxing because, you know, we want to see the best fights. And then, like, this is a great year in boxing right here, man. It would never be a year like this in boxing for a long time. It'll never
How
be a
can he
year
be
like this.
so bitter? You just had your biggest fight, your biggest payday. You just beat your rival. Why are you still so bitter?
I
Like,
know
why are
why.
you still focusing on the people that don't
No,
agree? Like, it don't make sense.
I'm about to explain this to y'all, and I want y'all to pay attention to what I say and tell me how real this is, right? Bud has so much pride, right? But to get his biggest paycheck, to get the most money he's made his whole career combined, right? He couldn't do it on his own merit. It had to be done by a guy who he's been hating on for all these years. This man extended the olive branch to let Bud get the most money he's ever made in his career combined. And he wasn't able to do that on his own merit. So that right there makes him feel like less of a man because he has pride. Because you know, Bud always say that he's on the same level as Earl. He always said that. He always said that he the A side. Remember, he kept trying to say he was the A side to Earl. Now his biggest pay per views with Sean Porter like 170 some thousand. Now he just got on a pay per view with Earl. They did 650K. That right there was a humbling experience, honestly, because they made some money, but he knows majority of that was Earl's fans. So that right there rubs Bud the wrong way because you know Bud has that Napoleon complex. So now, you know, he's trying to make it seem to himself that these was his fans, that he the reason that it did all this, and he's trying to push himself as the big star. That's why I said they need to give him a pay-per-view fight so he can see that his numbers still are abysmal. And it's probably worse because of the shenanigans that he's been pulling. Honestly.
Yeah, I don't think that they're gonna help him much. I want to make two points attention and see what you guys think as well too. Sorry, let me roll these windows up. I'm in the car. The first being that, you know, wasn't he raised mainly by his mom and his aunts?
Yep.
That might have a little effect
Woman
on
can't
how.
raise a man.
Yeah, so that might have a little
A1, well, hit the button.
impact.
Hold on. Hit the link then, A1.
Oh, for sure. Hey, one come up here and cook, and then
Let me drop
also
it
like
again for A1 in case. Let me drop it again for A1. I thought it was already out there in the chat.
yeah, I got it a bunch of times out there.
What's
But
up, Rick Timms?
Rick definitely can hit that. Rick I S with big time, dog. Rick and Tim because they keep it a beam. Like they like Crawford, but they recognize when it's just not right. You know, I respect them for that.
All my people can
Like
hop up here. You know, I got the premium. Shit, we can get them as many
he said, he
people
got
as
that
come up.
smoke. But also the second thing I wanted to say is as far as the Spence and then becoming the A1, I think what Mayweather did was show you effectively how you go about coming in the fight as a B side, leaving out as the A plus side. And I guess he
Oscar
figured that
fight.
yeah, exactly. And if I can do, if he can do it, then I can. And it
And
didn't get.
that's what Terrence Crawford thought he was going to do. See, he thought that he was going to come in like Floyd and become the A side because he beat Spence. And see, he was on his way. Now he would have ran it back with Spence, and you know him and Spence fought at 154, and then he did it again. Then you know what I'm saying? Like it's a process. You just don't become a celebrity overnight unless you fight somebody like Tank. Now when you fight Tank, even if you lose against Tank, you become a celebrity overnight. You feel what I'm saying? But you know, the only thing is people knew Earl wasn't the same. And that's why they didn't give him as much credit. Because people can say what they want to say, but your eyes don't lie. And we seen that, you know, it wasn't the right thing. But we didn't take that away because he still won. But then now, the way you move it now, and these demands, yeah, that right there, that just makes it look all bad. It just makes it Tony Roll, man. You can hit the link, man. You know, this is the sports bar, bro. Everybody welcome to hit the link, bro. We respect everybody up here. There's no wrong answer up here. There's no wrong subject. Anybody can say what they got to say up here, bro. Even the Bud fan, you seen, he just came up here. You know, we talked it out like men. I mean, everybody's gonna have their own opinion. That's why I like about this. We all can have our own opinion and we can still chat. And make sure y'all hit that like button if y'all ain't hit the like yet. I'm waiting on A1 of them to come up here. Rick might hop up here too. I don't know. But everybody's welcome to hop up here and, you know, speak your opinion because, you know, this boxing, it affects us all. But yeah, 2 Cent. I guess 2 Cent got it on mute. But yo, Thomas, I'm gonna tell you a lot of people. Hold on, who this? Let's see. This my guy Tony Rome. Salute, Tony Rome.
Salute to the panel. This is my
Salute,
first
man.
time being on.
Well, welcome up here, man. Welcome up here. Glad you're here. Glad you're here.
Thanks a lot, man. I've been typing like a motherfucker in the chat, but
It's a lot
I'm
easier this
just
way,
like
ain't it?
I'm just disappointed in Bud though, man. Like for real. Like, dude, he ain't gotta be moving like no little girl, man. You know, if EJ was diligent enough to give him everything he wanted, it's like, bro, how can you honor a man that's dishonorable? You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, bro, I went to the fight. I went to the fight and I ordered the fight for both of my kids, man. You know, I'm just a fan of boxing, you know what I mean? But I
Fact.
ride with EJ, you know what I mean? And as a as a I'm just sitting here listening to the chat and listening to the panel. Think about all of the history, man, where EJ did all of that lifting and fighting all of the oppositions and stuff to gather all of the belts. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Crawford could have fought Ugas, bro. He could have fought Ugas before Porter, bro, and grabbed another belt and had better leverage. But he chose not to, right? Or am I wrong?
Man, Crawford had a chance to fight Manny Pacquiao and he would have been the A side. He'd have been the A
Right,
side if he fought Pacquiao.
right. You
But
know,
he
and I'm
pulled
just
out that fight.
and I'm just looking at all these antics, man. We already know both of them barely made weight. You know what I'm saying? I think both of them missed weight. You know what I mean? But in the same token, it's like, what the fuck is Bud really trying to prove? You know what I'm saying? Is it on some legacy shit or is it just trying to get a bag? You know what I mean? What is his angle? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, what's really good? But right now, like RuPaul or something, bro.
Well, you know what he said? What Bud said was he feel like the rematch is a waste of time and he don't want to fight Earl again. So he said they're gonna put the match at 147. Hopefully Earl don't take it. That's what he said. And I'm like, damn, you just got your biggest payday versus Earl. Why not fight him at 154? That's another bag. It's more, you ain't gonna get no bag like that fight. Nobody else out here. So how is that a waste of time to get your biggest payday? That's why I say he be double talking and contradicting himself. And what he say don't be holding up. I think he dropped off. He'll probably pop back up here. Just hop on back up here, Tony Romo. I don't know what happened, bro. But yeah, Thomas, that shit be crazy right there, though, man. Like, well, Rick Till's Bob Arab also came out there and said that Crawford was a sucker for southpaws, and he didn't want Crawford to take that loss. That's what Bob Arab also said too. Rick Tills. You back, Tony Romo?
Yeah, man. I'm just looking at it where I'm just like, dude, he acting like RuPaul, man. Like he really ain't walking like a man with principles, bro. Like I'm a boxing fan, bro. We've been waiting on this fight for shit 4 5 years or something like that. You know what I
Exactly.
mean? And it's like, dude, this how you gonna act like you got a skirt or something, bro? Like, come on, man. You know what I'm saying? Honor your fans that really support you, that really rock with you. You know what I mean? And it's like, can't nobody get jiggy with this shit, bro. Like, it's just very frustrating for me because it's like, come on, man. Get a man that's the 154 like y'all agreed to. They was talking that shit before the fight. You know what I'm saying? That we gonna have a rematch probably at 154. Am I right?
In the after fight press conference, they said it.
Yeah. You totally correct about that, bro. You're totally correct about that. But I don't know, man. I think Bud is really gonna lose more fans than he gained moving the
Yeah,
way he's moving.
definitely. Well, I don't know if
You
he's
know,
gonna lose some fans because they seem to be loyal no matter what he do.
That's
Because
just
they explain away some nonsense right about it.
it's some of them, man. Some of his fans are toxic. But they are, bro. Like
that's a
a lot of
shame,
people.
man. It ain't a lot of real men running around here, man. These not to be sexist or nothing, but man, bro, like
It's just
they
certain things you hold to as a man that you're not supposed to go
exactly,
to.
bro.
Exactly.
You're not being sexist at all, bro. You being
Hey,
factual.
A1, bro, you can hop up here as soon as you want to. A1 hoop. Whenever you want to hop up here, bro. All right, go
But
ahead.
Tony Brown, that's a straight fact, bro. That's a straight fact. And,
Man, like,
I'm a boxing fan, bro. So I like Bud because I know what he does in the ring is legit. Now he
bro,
aligned himself with some folks that ain't so legit, so it looks suspect. But
facts.
like I said, I can't say it's not because he ain't been caught up on it. But what
Right.
has been on display is like in the ring, he real nice with them hands.
You
Nobody can
right.
take that away from him.
You totally right, bro. You totally right. But I must admit, bro, this some prima donna ass shit that the man doing, bro.
Oh,
You know,
that right
and
there
and
is stuff.
and I don't even really jam with Bob Arum because I see how he treat black fighters. But the motherfucker was right when he said I'm losing money and he can't market himself and all of that, bro. The man should just really clean his motherfucking image up and stand as a man and do what's right for the sport, bro. You know what I'm saying? I think
Yo,
he's being so
yeah, that shit right there, man. Like, that shit just hurt my feelings. Hey,
for
but
the
Chavez, salute, King. Like, that shit just hurt, though, bro, because I'm thinking we about to get a hell of a fight coming back.
Hey, on real, I'm thinking we getting the trilogy. That's what I was thinking. Because I know the get back gonna be
but
something serious.
he probably really trying to stop EJ bag if you really think about it.
But see, he can't stop Earl bad because, Earl can get that bad from different ways. See, Earl still got fights. Bud ain't got too many fights that'll generate. Because Bud, like I
But
said, can't carry a pay-per-view by himself.
And
Earl still got
Earl
people
still got
bagging him. He got people
he
bagging him, like old boy from the Cowboys and all
There
that
you go.
shit, man. He got real
There
people,
you go.
you know what I'm
see,
saying,
see,
bagging him, bro.
see Tony Rome, you spot on with that, man. He got people that got influence behind him still. On
For
top of
real.
that, he still got a fighter in Canelo who will fight him in the drop of a hat. to make bread
Hell
because
yeah.
you know he's there.
Hell yeah.
You imagine
And we,
Canelo and
go ahead.
Earl and Reliant? Is that where Dallas play the games? Reliant Stadium?
Maybe
Earl
I don't
versus
know.
Canelo would have did 2 million pay-per-view.
Man, they sell
Buckle
that
up
damn
boxes
stadium
for
out
me,
cheap.
G. Earl versus Canelo would have did 2 million pay-per-view. That's what the fight they was building for. That's
Oh,
why
for
Earl
you.
has to get his lick back with Bud, so him and Canelo can still make that fight because they still gonna make that fight.
Yeah,
Right.
I believe that's his. I think that's his last
That's
fight out.
Canelo's last fight. Is Earl
Yeah,
Spence.
I believe so. And like you said, that's 2 million pay-per-views and a sold out Dallas. I don't know. I think it's Reliant Stadium, but they sell that bad boy out. Would you get like 100 and some thousand people up in there?
I
Come
thought
on.
mine was like in California or somewhere, but I know
Uh, where's the one that Dallas Cowboys
the
play at?
Dallas Cowboys Stadium. I think that's
Okay, yeah,
Practice stadium.
huh?
yeah, they'll pack that bad boy out.
100,000. 100,000 at the Cowboys Stadium packed.
They'll
Hey,
pack that bad boy out. You
I'm
mean tell
I'm
me?
I'm go ahead.
No, that's all you, baby boy. I'm just saying
Oh,
that's unfair.
nah, yeah, I agree. I agree, but I'm hypothetically speaking, what if Bud was trying to shelf EJ to try to go ahead and pass EJ to
Get the
get
bag,
to
Canelo.
Canelo? Yeah, get to Canelo and Charlo, whoever win that. But if Charlo win the fight, I think Charlo gonna be like, fuck you. I'll fight EJ before I fight you.
Exactly.
And then
Bud
you know
can't
what I'm saying?
Bud can't chef EJ because EJ got other fights. And if Bud don't want to do that fight, EJ can still make the bag. But see,
Right,
Earl on Reliant Stadium is in Houston. It's
right.
Cowboy Stadium is the NRG Stadium. That's what Rick Tim said.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. They'll sell that bad boy out though. Thanks for the
Shalom
clarification, though,
Kawhi
Rick.
Elliott. Peace and blessings. Buckle up, box toe. 84 LX Cuddy. Rick Tim. It's all things. I'm sorry, people, man. I supposed to got y'all in there. My man A1 Hoop Zone. My man King Vaughn. Um, Peace and blessings to everybody. Obo. Peace and blessings to everybody if I ain't spoke to you yet. Sorry about that. My man So Truth back in here. But yeah, we deserve to fight. I mean, like this year, I can't complain because this year we had hell of fights, bro. We had hell of a fights. And then we ended it with David Benavidez and Boo Boo. That's a hell of a fight.
Right.
Have they
That,
finalized that? I keep hearing they haven't even finalized that yet.
It's either he fight Boo Boo or he got to fight Burrell. So I'm thinking he's going to finalize that Boo Boo fight. And people just want Bud to jump to the front of the line to fight Canelo, right? If that's the case, then Bud need to go up there and fight David Burrell. If he beats David Burrell dead, he can fight motherfucking Canelo. How about that? Salute, Carl,
Right.
bro.
man, he ain't
Let them go fight Benavidez.
Nah,
Yeah,
man,
yeah.
David Burrell.
fight
David
none.
Burrell be a bet. Nah, Benavidez, yeah, you fought his brother, so yeah. I feel like Benavidez be an easier fight for him too. Because Benavidez ain't got no foot movement. And Bud could probably outbox Benavidez, honestly. Because Benavidez ain't got that much power. That's why he throws so many combinations.
But he got an engine on him though.
That's why I said that's
That's
why
the
he
one
throws so
thing he
many
does have.
combinations.
That's the one thing he does have, and
You put him
he's
in the
in the
ring with
weight.
David Burrell, he going night night.
Yeah, yeah. But I think you put a lot of people in the ring with Morel, they going night night.
Anybody from 168 to 200. That's how I
Yeah.
feel. Oh yeah,
Right.
man. Thomas Hill, drop the link for my man Carl to jump on.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, you can jump on Big Carl. We
Oh,
drop
my
it.
bad. I'm
We keep
putting it
doing
in
that
this.
shit.
The
I'm putting it
Texans
in
play at
this.
NRG Stadium, not the Cowboys. That's the Texans Stadium, NRG.
So
I
what's
thought
the
it
what?
said. I thought he said Texas was the Reliant.
No, AT&T is the Cowboys.
Yeah,
That's in
AT&T.
Dallas.
That's what it is.
NRG is in Houston. That's the Texans.
Well, who the
All
hell
I
is the
know, if you
Reliant?
put Earl in there with Canelo, that bad boy is selling out. Where the Cowboys play,
Yeah,
it's gonna sell out, and the pay per view gonna be huge.
Exactly. Especially if
Right,
he could do motherfucking 1.2 with Triple G.
right. But
So
Bud probably
that's
just
why.
trying to deflect. He
Welcome,
probably
Carl,
just
bro.
trying to
Welcome,
deflect
welcome.
shit.
What's good? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, big dog.
Yeah, we hear you, Carl.
Salute,
Yeah, I'm a
man.
big fan of the channel too. I don't never catch you live all the time, but I'm a big fan of the channel, just so you know.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Well, you got moderated already, but appreciate you.
All right. And can I jump in on the topic?
Bro, this is the sports bar, man. You can talk about whatever you want to talk about, bro. You
No,
know,
definitely. Cause I was
everybody,
saying
everybody conversation is wars in here, bro. Like,
right.
you can talk about what you want.
Yeah, I was saying this already. Like before it all happened, I was saying when Bud was agreeing to give Errol Spence a shot. Because when I seen Earl, I just want to say this though. When I seen Earl coming out the tunnel, the back room, I first started thinking. I first started seeing it. But when I seen how Earl was walking out, I'm like, yeah, man, it's one of those nights. My girl was even saying it. She's like, oh man, he gonna lose. I'm like, yeah, it's one of those nights. It's one of those nights. He not looking. He not looking too right. He doing this because he a man of his word. You know what I mean? But I knew Bud was gonna. I knew Bud was gonna get on Bud on the time he said, "Oh yeah, we could do it at 54." It was hard for me to make the weight too. That was all cat. And I want to say
Yep.
one other thing. I don't want to keep on take. I don't want to take up too much time, but I want to say another thing. For anybody that's believing Bud, saying that he want the winner out of Jamel Charlo and Canelo. Come on, man. Look, this one reason. Let's put all the skills apart. This one reason why Canelo will beat Terrence Crawford. Canelo do a thing, and you gotta be not a dog. You gotta be able to take Canelo them punches that he be giving on the arm. Canelo, that's what he do. I doubt. I just doubt Crawford will be able to keep that up. And then why would anybody believe that Terrence Crawford want to fight Canelo at 168? First, he said 54 was his ceiling. Then he thought about it like, dang, I've been using Errol Smith's name all this time. I could use Canelo's name right now just for people to believe that I want to fight. Like, I be looking past all that. I'm like, man, if anybody believe that this dude gonna go, he ain't had not one fight at 154, not one fight at 160, not a fight at 160, but he gonna go to 168 and fight Canelo Alvarez. I don't care how much money. That dude capping. Anybody believe that? They just a super duper Bud fan. They just want to believe anything we say. I doubt anything. I doubt. I put any percentage on it. I bet anybody Terrence Crawford ain't going up to 168. Cause for all that, he go up there and fight a low less name like you been doing. Like, but you gonna tell me you gonna go up there and fight Canelo because you just fought Earl? Like you had your best night against Earl, worst night. That's why everybody not understanding when they be saying, why do Earl Smith fans want the rematch?
Facts.
We know what we seen. It ain't making up no excuses. We know what we seen. We seen it so many times in boxing. And a real person that watch boxing, especially if you've been watching boxing for a long time, you know what you know what it was. Like they ain't the first person that we seen come out and we was like, oh man, yeah, it's one of those nights. Yeah,
Who got
Earl is
that in
not
the
the first person.
background? Who got that background noise?
Oh, I think that's me. I think my daughter playing the Harmon, you can turn it
Oh,
down. My
okay.
bad.
Salute,
My
Brandon
bad.
House.
And also to add on to what you're saying, just to piggyback off of the capping,
Right.
why would you say, oh, I'm gonna go fight at 68, but you won't fight at 54? Wouldn't it make sense for you
Right.
to step up and wait, have a fight, and then move up and wait? Like, why would you be like, nah, I'm gonna fight at 47, then go to 68? Like, none of what he's saying makes sense, and I think a lot of it is on purpose, so we can keep talking about him like we doing.
He's trying to
So
get his
this is
name up
what he
there.
wants.
He's trying to get his
But
name up.
why like this? But
He
why
probably
you want your name out there for contradicting yourself and capping and promising your fans things that you know you're not gonna do? That's not how you get your name out there.
that ain't being a man. I agree. I think he trying to buy time because Bomac all wrapped up,
Everybody
man.
knows that back then was a was a bad matchup for Terrence Crawford. The only thing I say, but you know what? I can't even say Earl was wrong for letting Terrence Crawford get used to the weight. Earl was still collecting belts, and this is what everybody's forgetting. Every belt that Errol Spence got, he took from a champion. Like nobody else don't even do it like that no more. Let's be for real about it. One by one, car accident, still stayed on course. He didn't miss a beat of anything he said back in 2017.
With
He
no
didn't miss
tune-ups.
a beat, no tune-up. He said
Yeah, bro,
if
my thing
everybody
was
pay
messed
attention,
up. Hold on a
everybody pay
second, bro. Wow, my bad. My thing was messed up. I had to leave out and come back in, boy. This straight yard thing acting crazy. All right.
attention. But if everybody pay attention, when even though Earl said no tune-up, like they gotta be a believer now. But if everybody pay attention when Earl said what he was gonna do, not the car accident, not the second car accident, and not the retina, stop them from doing every look. Remember, he supposed to fought Danny Garcia that January after the Sean Porter fight, which was in November. He supposed to fought Danny Garcia that January. He got in that car accident. No, wait, he fought Sean Porter in
What's up,
October,
Pierre
right?
Sports?
But you get what I'm saying, right? Like he stayed on course. Like, and for Bud to sit there and trying to play him, like if I was Earl, you just ask him one time. Because at the end of the day, people forgetting that Earl name's still bigger than Terrence Crawford.
Yes, it is, and that's what makes Terrence
No matter
Crawford
what,
so upset.
right? No matter what, how they slice it. No
That's
matter
why
how they
Terrence is
slice it,
still
Earl
upset
name
because Earl Davis still bigger than his.
is that, and it's gonna be that way. It's
But I
gonna be
mean,
that
you
way.
acting like Earl didn't sit there and talk to you on the phone and listen to all the grievances you had and agree
That
with you and gave you what you were. You know what I'm saying? Like this man came at you like a man. He sat down and listened to you and he listened to all your whatever gripes and complaints you had and gave you what you were asking for. And
Gave you more than
right.
apparently,
what you
you
was
feel as though
worth.
you feel as though nobody else has done that for you. So why would you treat the one person that quote unquote
Exactly. And
has
see,
done this for you like that? I don't get it.
that's what I was about to
Because he
say.
was expecting
He
to
reminds
he
you
was
of what he
expecting
look.
to
I'm gonna put it like this. He reminds you of one of the females that have a good man that's right there ready to take care of them, ready to do everything for her and the kids, but she want to go to the nigga that's treating her like shit, that's hitting all the other females.
Hey,
That's
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 fact,
that.
bro.
and you know he grew up being raised by a woman, so you know his mom was in that situation. He's following his mom's footsteps, basically like you rather be in the abusive relationship than the person that really cares about you. This man sat there and listened to your grievances, got you more than you was worth. This motherfucker just increased your portfolio by 10 because
Right.
nigga, you just got 4 times more than you've ever made. Like you just made more money in one
No, no,
fight
no, no.
than you made your
Say
whole
it like
career
you said it
combined.
the first time.
And this
He got it
man
four
just did
times
all
worth.
this for you, and you were so grateful and thankful. And then after that, then you give him your ass to kiss. Like you just like
Hey,
a,
hey,
and then you be just like a female to be like, it ain't no good men out here. You just had a
hey,
good man
Upper.
that was doing everything for you, but you want to stay with the toxicity. And that's
Hey,
the way
like
he acts.
I said in the chat, man, he act like a baby mama that want more child support, bro. For real. I mean, no offense to the ladies, but I'm
And
just
he was
100%.
getting
saying,
500 a month. Now the judge on the
yeah,
order you pay 150 a month. Now it's your fault. And
Hey,
if
But
you
look,
ain't
now
paying 500, now the
that
No,
judge gonna
you know
make
how
you
to
pay
offended me because
150.
I been said he after he put them tweets. I said he acting like a bitter baby mama.
well,
yes,
no,
well,
he
I
did
did.
say that. On
we
top of that, what happened?
Hello.
Yeah, I guess he popped off. But Upper said it right the
She had
first
stopped
time.
talking. I thought she
the
was
things that
saying
he is. That
something. She
dude is
stopped.
washed up. That dude is just an old washed up fighter.
Well, I can't call him washed up. He still got skills, man. That's the sad
I'm
part,
talking
bro.
about
But he's
I'm talking about Canelo Alvarez. He ain't touching none of those. I'm talking about big names at 168. That dude ain't touching none of them. That last dude that he fought, a lot of people probably overlooked this. He got buzzed a couple of times fighting that dude.
so Charlo do
He
got a chance with Canelo. That's what I feel. I
and
feel that
yeah,
Charlo got a chance, bro.
I
Yeah, he
think
just
Charlo
can't get
gonna
cut.
eat Canelo body up. Charlo gonna
Canelo just
tear
got pushed up
Canelo
by John
body
Ryder
up.
a little bit. But
I tell you
see,
this.
that's the thing. That's the thing. He
You,
automatically thought if he beat Earl, that he was gonna take Earl's limelight. Like, and that's
Yeah,
why his Bud fans, that's why Bud fans act the way they do too, because
they
you
not even
flock
happy.
birds of a feather flock together. And Bud is petty, he's spiteful, he's jealous hearted. And if you look at his fans, most of them are the same way. And they're mad that we didn't just leave Earl on the side of the road and switch over to Bud. No, we're not y'all. But that shows me
yeah,
if Bud would have lost, y'all would have left his ass on the side of the road. And
Yup,
Bud knows that
facts,
yup.
his fans are only with him conditionally. Because as soon as he leaves,
facts.
the people will leave his ass alone because of the way he acts. And he don't
And
make
look,
Facts.
what
no sense better.
and what do Buzz fans like? And I ain't talking about Buzz fans because I know some real Buzz fans. I'm talking about I know some diehard like like real. They just like him. You know what I mean? I mean I don't like Terrence Crawford because of the things that he do, but as a fighter I respect him. But a lot.
Facts.
What do Buzz fans? I'm talking these fake ones. What do they all say? They all say the same old thing because they try to save face. And I ain't even gonna hold you. Like, there's a couple of dudes I be on their channel. They all trying to save face, and that's why they all say I'm a fan of Errol Smith and Terrence Crawford. Now they ain't got no respect for Earl because they did it was the unknown. And let's be real, the unknown is still at 154. Why do you think they so happy now that Terrence saying is gonna be at 147? Right? That's They don't want it to be at 154 because the only thing Earl was missing in that fight, Earl power was gone, and Earl legs was gone because he got up every time he got dropped. He was up before 2 seconds,
Right.
and
He
I
didn't stay. He didn't stay
like,
down. He didn't stay down
like
for shit, bro.
look at the uppercut when Terrence Crawford caught Earl with that uppercut when Earl Smith landed that overhand, right?
Right.
Look how when Terrence Crawford caught him, Earl was looking at Terrence Crawford walking off. Ain't no
Bro,
dude that got hit and they supposed to be hurt, and you looking at the
Errol
guy
wasn't
walking
even
across the ring.
he went
Earl legs was gone.
you're right. He wasn't even staying down long enough, bro. He was
Yeah,
jumping right back up, bro.
man,
Before his
and
Man,
leg
Terrence,
if y'all see Earl face after that first knockdown, he look like man, like he looked like this some bullshit. Like his facial expression,
right. That's
you know
what I'm
what I'm
talking
saying? Look
about.
at his face.
That's what I'm talking about. When y'all caught that uppercut, he was like, "Oh man, this some bullshit." Like that's exactly the face that he put on. Like, dang man, like it and oh man, dang. And my thing is that a lot of these buzz, not even buzz fans, a lot of boxing fans, even dudes that's in the media, they
Yeah.
they see it. They see this. It's clear. It's clear to see that Earl just ain't had no legs because Terrence was not landing flush flush shots on Earl. Earl defense still was holding up. Earl was rolling with a lot of those punches. None of them shits was
No, that
landing
last one
flush.
was flush.
No, yeah. The one when he caught him back, yeah. When right before they
Yeah,
stopped it. In the
yeah,
middle,
that was
now,
flush.
and you seen it in Earl's face that hurt him. But a lot of them shots
Yo,
that
Thomas
Terrence was
said,
thinking,
hold on one second,
yeah,
Carl. Hey, Thomas,
right.
hold me down for a second while I get this thing wrapped over real quick. You
For
hear
sure.
me?
Yeah, that for
All
sure.
right.
But a lot of that was I'm getting knocked down because I'm off balance and I'm weak. Like
Right, right.
it's
That's what. And if anybody can see when he was walking out, that's my main thing. Earl never, not one fight, even if he was up for the fight or if he was just that face that Earl had on. Earl was like that. Said, if I beat Terrence Crawford in this stage right here, Terrence Crawford wasn't nothing from the begin with. If everybody that Earl fought, they got to think about it. They got to really think about it. Earl fought dudes and really after I want to say the beginning of let's say the Shawn Porter fight. Look how Errol Spence body was when he had how he had to make weight. He made weight the same way for the Terrence Crawford fight. You can look at his body definition. The only thing about it, Errol had he put a little bit more oomph into it, but this was a messed up camp for Errol. It was the same way. Errol, look at Errol's body, the way his body was shaped for Shawn Porter fight. He ain't had no six packs, no nothing. Only thing that made Errol look crazy big in this Terrence Crawford is the tattoos. You know what I mean? You gotta think about it.
Do you think he should get back with Blu-ray though?
Definitely. Oh my God! I say this: they go up to 154 with Blu-ray or without Blu-ray. That's where Terrence Crawford get. I ain't gonna say he get demolished, but Terrence Crawford really believed that he tasted Errol Spence's real power. Errol Spence was ain't no way that Terrence Crawford talked about Errol hit him and he said, that's it? A dude that's breaking bone? And we got to make it up. This dude really broke bone.
I think they just trying to diminish. They just trying to. I mean, I think a lot of the Bud fans is really trying to diminish Errol and like his legacy or whatever. You see how they done came out with he's splitting from Derrick James and all this other type shit, bro. And they just trying to.
I think it's also it's a bigger push. It's not just Bud fans. It's a bigger push from mainstream media, in my opinion, to just try to decimate Errol's legacy, to try to tear apart his camp, to try to tear down Derrick James. Because immediately after the fight, it was, oh, this Derrick James' fault. Oh, he need to leave Derrick James. Oh, Derrick James traded too many superstars. Like, it was crazy. It's like, how was Derrick James getting all of this heat and all of this flack when you seen how Errol looked in that ring? Even Derrick James was like, what the hell is going on? Even did you see his face? It was unbelievable. He couldn't believe it.
What the fuck is in this?
It's fucked
and he was like, what the hell? They showed pictures of him on the sideline and his face is just like the look. I felt so bad. Like, look at this man. He don't understand what is going on. And so then after all of that, they started the Shakur Frank Martin crap up and all of this. And it's just weird. And it's like, oh, Errol Spence was just a hype job. Like, how dare y'all say Errol Spence was a hype job? After this man did all this heavy lifting, he went and got all these belts no matter what he went through. All of you
as a one-dimensional, flat-foot, slow fighter. She was cooking. She's going to get back and cook on. She just went out of service for a second. But I agree. Now, I'm going to say this, too, because none of this takes away from Terrence Crawford, because he was prepared for the fight, and he was ready that night, and he was on point. And Errol got up in there and went up them 3 steps. So it ain't his fault that Errol wasn't right. It ain't Bud Crawford.
Salute to my guy Big Dose. Salute Big Dose. Salute Wawa. Where happened to
she was cooking and she left the stove up too high.
She was showing enough cooking, bro.
She be cooking. So I respect. There she go.
Yeah, I got cut off. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah. In a lot of fans, they were just like hope.
I was saying that the fans should have a greater appreciation for Errol after this fight, regardless of the win or the loss, because of all he went through and all he did to do what he promised to the fans. Right. I don't understand the tear it down.
The coin flip, all that bullshit, all that, man. I was just nothing. Go ahead, bro.
No, go ahead. No, my bad.
No, I was just saying with the coin flip and all this shit. I walk out first and all this shit, man. Plus the 50-50. I mean, man, he gave the man absolutely everything he ever dreamed of, bro. And he can't even honor this man and hold to his motherfucking word at 154, bro. And it's like the little credit that I did have for the motherfucker, man, is gone, bro. Like for real. I can't wait to see him get whooped.
Hold on one second, bro. Salute to my guy Joshua Priest for the $5 cash app. Appreciate that, the way you support the channel, homie. Appreciate that. Salute for the
And I'm
$5
and
cash
I'm
app. Joshua
and I'm
Priest.
tired of this whole we have to start our sentences off with, oh, I don't want to take away from Crawford. Man, I'm sick of that.
That real talk. Word.
Cook,
Word.
sis, cook.
Word.
Let
Cook.
me tell you, let me
Word.
tell you what I
Fuck
mean.
all that. Take away from Crawford because
Check this out,
if
y'all. Look,
if if we honest, we did not see greatness from Crawford that night. If we honest, at what point did
No
Crawford
word.
have to dig deep to pull out anything in that fight?
And Earl
hey,
kept
look, that's
coming.
just like if I
True.
sit
Need it.
there.
Let's stop
Look,
this.
hold on, hold on. 1 second. That's just like if we see a lion in a gazelle fight, right? And I say
Yeah.
the lion just destroyed that gazelle. The gazelle couldn't do nothing about it. The lion had teeth and he had claws, and he suffocated the gazelle. The gazelle was just food. I'm not making
Right.
an excuse for a gazelle. I'm just telling you what happened in that fight right there. So I'm
Right.
not making an excuse for the gazelle not beating the lion. I'm just telling you the reason why he didn't win. You feel what I'm saying? Like
Right.
he did not win because he didn't have the claws and the teeth in that fight. He was slower and he couldn't get away. So people got to realize it's a difference between stating your observation and making an excuse. Just because we make an observation doesn't mean we're making an excuse. And it's obvious that it has merit to the excuse because Terrence and him is trying to put the weight back at 147 so Spence doesn't make the fight. So they knew something was wrong with Spence as well.
So
Word.
So
is it true that Bud want more money if he have to fight at
No, he
154?
doesn't even want to fight. He don't want to fight Earl
Oh.
no more. So they try to put the fight at 147 so Earl will pass up on the fight.
I mean, we don't know. It's all.
Mm.
Well, I want to say it's all speculation, but shit, it's people coming out from his own team saying this.
Nah,
So
so Cole said it. That's
Right.
his best
Right.
friend.
it's
And,
like it, man, I'm so sick of Terrence Crawford. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. This dude
word.
is a piece of work.
And look.
It's a
And,
piece of work.
and one
And
of
he
y'all
want us
said
to
it
keep
earlier.
talking about him, so I'm gonna keep talking about him. But let me throw some education out there real quick for these Terrence Crawford fans that keep saying, "Oh, y'all still talking about this? Oh, y'all still making excuse?" Yeah, we still talking about it because it's a rematch coming up. So we gonna keep
And they
talking
still
about it.
hate
And
Earl.
if it's a trilogy coming up, we still gonna keep talking about it. And
And
if
we
we
talked
was sitting
about it
here
because he putting
saying,
it out.
And they
and he
And he
want us
putting
to
this shit
talk about
out.
him because he putting out the
still
fake
hate
shit.
Earl.
Exactly. And we're going to keep talking about it
Look,
when he
and the
keep
thing I don't
putting
get,
out dumb
why,
shit
why
like this. He's
and why
putting
do
this
they
shit out.
still hate Earl? If Earl just lost, why they still hate him?
Because they, they,
What,
they don't feel satisfied about that win. Because they
what,
knew
what,
that
what,
win right there was
Cause they
empty.
know,
Look, they knew that was an
cause they seen
empty
the
win.
same
That
old
was like
thing that we
empty.
seen.
That's like eating empty calories. And they know it.
Yep,
And
they seen the
Terrence
same
Crawford
old
know
thing.
it too. That's why he said, I'm going to put the fight at 147 because I don't want to fight Earl again. So if we put it at 147, then hopefully Earl will pass up on the fight. That's what they're trying to do right now.
Buckle
Man,
up
but
boxing.
Well,
If Earl simply don't got the skills to beat Bud, why are we going
no,
through
he
all
got it.
this? Why have we been
No,
going
he
through
got
all
it.
this?
Hop on up
Why
here,
did he
buckle up. You know you
buckle up
always can hop
boxing.
up
Here
here,
you
buckle up.
go. Here you go. Right here.
why the fight ain't at 140s? Why the fight ain't at 154? Why does there constantly have to be some type of handicap for Terrence Crawford if he simply don't got the skills to beat Earl? If Earl's a
Who
basic
fell off?
fighter,
Who fell off the
That's why.
live?
That's why I was saying. That's what I
Who
was
fell off,
saying. Why?
Sauce?
If Terrence Crawford said it was so easy, I mean, it was hard for him to make 147. Why wouldn't you want to go to 154? You'll have more energy. I mean, you overkilled it. And
that
then
was
I
a
don't care what
lie.
nobody say. Right. That's
Now
why.
that's
That's why I said the whole. If anybody believe the whole Canelo Alvarez thing, they crazy. That dude ain't going up there and fighting nobody. I'm talking about 160, 154 is his ceiling, like he said. He just capping off of a other weight class. I doubt it. He just
not,
want to see
but
Nah, because he
what
said
type
he
of
go to
offers he'll
168
get.
to fight Canelo. He
Man,
said
that
he
dude
go to
ain't going up to
168
no
to fight
150.
Canelo.
Y'all
Do
believe
y'all
that if
know why
y'all want.
Terrence Crawford? Y'all know why y'all Terrence Crawford talking about Canelo? Because they offer Spence that Canelo fight.
Exactly.
That was
So
that.
now he want
that's
to sit
bingo.
here
That's
and
what it
act like
all.
he
Look,
want to fight
facts.
Canelo. You not
Look,
fighting Canelo, bro. You
hey,
just
guess
want
what?
to be
Guess
like,
what?
oh, I took the
Two
fight.
cent. Two cent. That's
And it's
exactly what I
up.
said earlier. He's jealous of Earl. He want to live vicariously through Earl. He wants to. He
Right.
trying to show that I will make more money in the Canelo fight than Earl. No, you would not. That's what I be saying.
And
Like Terrence Crawford thinks that he gets to assume Earl's identity because he beat him. No, you don't get to assume Earl's identity because some people sell and some people don't. You like bad dope. You water whip. Earl, that straight drop. And put the straight
And
drop out there and let it rock on the first through the third. Then you pull out that water whip when everybody money go. You feel what I'm saying?
and the crazy part about it, is that let's just say if Earl said, you know what, bump this Terrence Crawford fight. If Earl want to call Al right now and say, yo, set that Tim Tszyu fight up or any other big name of 154, Earl still could get that. And if Earl beat Tim Tszyu or somebody, right? Let's say Earl's grab that belt. Earl still will get that fight with Canelo before Bud will.
Of course. Canelo came out his own mouth and said, Bud is not a big enough star for me to fight. That's what Canelo said.
And he not.
Canelo
They
said,
forget
what
about
would
his
I
pay-per-view
gain?
numbers.
Canelo said, what would I gain out of fighting him? And Canelo's all about that
And he
bag
won't gain
money.
nothing. Because if they hit him up, if Canelo...
Bud brings nothing to the table for Canelo. So Canelo's not about to fight Bud.
And these dudes talking too fast. Because they didn't see Terrence Crawford fight another fight and put him on pay-per-view and see how he do without Earl before they start saying Terrence Crawford some type of big star. No, let's see how he do without Earl. I'm talking about if that was the case. Let's see. I guarantee you, if you put Earl and Sebastian on Fundora and put that on pay-per-view, Earl still do his 250, 300,000. I guarantee you Bud wouldn't get close to that. They keep on running with this because he beat Earl. Okay, he beat Earl. But like I said, everybody ain't going to be saying the same old thing. Not just us. I'm talking about real ex-boxers. Sugar Shane, he said it too. Even though he messed up about that Harlem session. But he said a couple of people said that the same old thing that we saying. And our eyes ain't deceiving us. We know what Earl was looking like. Earl was looking at that crowd and was like, damn, it was my moment. Earl knew
that's why I say, like, that's why I say.
Rick Tams, you gotta cut it out, bro. Canelo already ducked Earl.
Yeah, he did. He did. Because PBC offered Canelo. Look, PBC offered Canelo 2 fights for $100 million. It was either Jamal Charlo and David Benavidez and Canelo.
Yeah.
It was $45 million for Jamal Charlo.
So Canelo would duck Earl, but he'll fight Charlo.
Hold on, listen. Let me tell you. Let me
My
tell
bad.
you. All right, PBC came to Canelo with a 2-fight deal for $100 million. It was $45 million to fight either Jamal, not Jamel, but Jamal Charlo or David Benavidez for $45, and then he had to fight Errol Spence for $55 million, right?
Yep.
He said, fuck that. He went to the zone, signed a 3-fight deal for $85 million to fight Bivol, Triple G, and John Ryder. So he gave up. He ended up having to fight one more fight for $15 million less because he didn't want to fight the Benavidez or Charlo and Spence for $100 million. And then after that, he turns around and comes to PBC and gets the same contract for $100 million, but now he has to fight 3 fights instead of 2 because his stock took a hit at the zone. See, his Canelo stock took a hit. That's why when they say your price yesterday ain't your price for the day. See, the price at the zone lowered Canelo's value because, see, the last fight Canelo did was Caleb Plant on PBC, and they did 800,000 pay-per-view buys. And so, with 800,000 pay-per-view buys in a $18 million gate, that's motherfucking almost close to $90 million for a fight. So, he made some bread. Caleb Plant made like $12 million. Canelo made like 60, and the PBC and them made like 15, 20.
Is it too far-fetched to think that Earl probably ain't had that much power? But
no, Earl had the power. But see, look, Earl had a Canelo fight, but Earl decided to take the Crawford fight because Earl would have been first on. Because see, look, they had Charlo, and Spence on Canelo's three contract this time.
Right.
It was Canelo, It was Charlo Spence. And I think Spence might have would have been the first go round because if Crawford didn't accept that fight, then they was gonna pop Spence up there. But I think they was gonna put Jamal Charlo first because he had mental problems. But the Canelo Spence fight, they've been building that for 4-5 years now. Ever since Spence outsold Canelo with the Danny Garcia fight, when he broke the record for the gate that year. So Spence and Canelo, Jerry Jones wanted to make that fight. That would have been a fight at Dallas that would have sold out the 100,000 people, and it would have been big money in that fight. But Texas and Mexico still wants to see Errol versus Canelo because they still love both. Plus, Canelo Alvarez is not a 168 fighter. He's really a 160, 154. Him and Earl about the same size and dimensions.
Yep.
And Earl blows up bigger than Canelo. That's why, him at 147 is a travesty. That's why we should at least see him at 154. But we thought we was, but now people throwing salt in the game. I just hope they get their shit together, honestly.
And why so many people talking about Bud? His name Canelo ducking Bud. I'm like, wait, come on now.
He not ducking
like,
Bud. It's the fact that Bud doesn't generate enough revenue.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't understand. It's called the business of boxing.
Right.
Bud Crawford did 650,000 with Errol Spence. Errol Spence and Sean Porter did well over 300,000. Bud Crawford and Sean Porter did 170,000. Like, you got Sean Porter that just came off a hot ass pay-per-view with Spence. Now he's in a pay-per-view with another champion, Terrence Crawford, and you can't even reach 200,000.
Right.
Like that was another thing right there. Like, they couldn't even reach 200,000.
Right.
They had like $170,000. If you look at it, that's $170,000 in pay-per-view. If it's a $70 fight, so that's 100,000 to 7 million plus 70. That's 49. That's motherfucking 11 point. That's $12 million pay-per-view, right? And I think Bud got like 7, and Sean Porter got like 4 or 6 or something. So they just broke even. Oh, they got the gate and everything, but Bob Arum just broke even really with that Sean Porter and Terrence Crawford pay-per-view. So really, it ain't making no money. They lost on the Amir Khan and Terrence Crawford pay-per-view.
Badly on that. That was only
they lost money on Amir Khan and Terrence Crawford pay-per-view. They lost money. So Terrence Crawford made $500,000 gates. It wasn't even a full 500,000, but he got close to 500,000 at the gate and less than 10,000 pay-per-view buys versus David Averdisian. So Terrence Crawford, you have numbers. Man, it's YouTube channels that get more views than that.
Word.
My Errol Spence documentary got 30,000 views. This nigga didn't get 30,000 views.
Word.
And after the David Averdisian fight, that shit had been up for almost a month, and it still didn't get over 300,000 watches. It's probably over there now, but a month after the fight, the next day after the pay-per-view fight, it was on YouTube the next day. A Terrence Crawford pay-per-view fight was on the next day. If you get Tank or Earl pay-per-view fights, it takes you about a year for them to release the fights for you to see it. At least a year.
And I tell dudes straight up, I'm so big of an Earl fan, and this before anything. I'm talking about I've been rocking with Earl since back 2012 when he first jumped on the scene type. You know what I mean? I've been so much of an Earl fan that I got the right. I be telling dudes on their channel straight up, like, stay on that side, because like on some real shit, I had grew respect for Terrence Crawford after that fight, but then I start taking that back by the way he been moving. But I know a lot of Earl Spence fans that's really trying to play him now, and I'm saying stay on that side, because look, I lost $500 on the first fight. Me and my man running his back.
I lost a call on the first fight, but we've had people on this channel that were Spence fans that couldn't wait to Spence lose just so they could say I told you so. A lot of times, these people don't even Spence fans or Crawford fans. They just like to see one of us doing bad and they want to laugh about it. That's all. because there's a
Well,
lot.
we really gotta get rid of the unrealistic expectation in boxing that you're not gonna lose. You had the number one and the number two fight, and somebody lost. Y'all acting like Errol Spence lost to the 10th ranked fighter or something. It was
Exactly.
an undisputed match.
To the pound for pound champion.
And me and my man instantly said we'll run that file back as long as the fight is at 154. And I'm running that back. And I got Errol by knockout at 154. I'm dead ass. I got Errol by knockout at 154. Everybody run with this what he did at 147.
Right? This is what really pisses me off about it, because then you have people start capping, talking about, well, Earl, he a basic front foot fighter. Like, it wasn't nothing basic about Errol. We've seen Errol fight every style. We've seen Errol fight on his toes. We've seen Errol fight on the front foot, back foot. We've seen him
Peterson fight.
We've seen Errol switch stances. Errol has did everything in the ring. Errol is an Olympian. Like, people sit there and forget Errol came from the Olympics. Errol done fought every style. But then people act like he's just such a basic fighter. And I'm like, now you capping, dog. It's nothing basic about what Errol could do. The man is athletic, not as athletic as Terrence Crawford, but he is. And if you sit there and say this is the same Errol that you seen, then you're a fucking lie. Like,
and before the my bad, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, my bad.
No, go ahead, Two-Cent.
Yeah, they just don't want to acknowledge it. Anytime I'm having a conversation with somebody and they say, Earl look the exact same, I'm done talking. Because we can't have a rational conversation. That whoever that boxing gyms video really, normally I don't really be getting, too emotional about this stuff, but that really teed me off because it's misleading. Of course, Earl fought the same way and did the same things that he do in the ring. He just wasn't able to execute the same. And that's what we're talking about. We're not talking about him fighting the same and doing the same things. Of course, what you think he gonna do something different? We're talking about the way he was able to execute the things that he normally does. He wasn't able to. Let's be honest.
He couldn't generate power, none of that. Like, damn.
And Bud knew that. Bud knew that from the first time Errol Spence landed. And let's be real, Bud knew that from the first time Earl landed that shot on him.
Yeah, when he first landed, because you see when he got hit that first time, he looked at it. Hey, somebody get Cozy Grover fool ass up out of here, since he a fool eating the food. That's why your fool ass came over here, right?
Look, and people forgetting when Earl caught Terrence Crawford with that right in the middle of the ring, right before Errol Spence ran into that uppercut, because Earl was not.
Oh, Terrence knew. He was like, oh yeah, this nigga. He even admitted it. He said, when I got hit by Earl, I was like, damn, where the power at? Even Terrence said that the punches was weak. He was like a damn girl flailing against her boyfriend when the boyfriend holding you, and you just throw them little punches trying to damn make something hit. That's the way it was looking. And he like, just calm down, girl. Rick Tim, salute, King.
Hey man, what's up, Uncle? Everybody on the panel, in the chat. Say, man, I just jumped up here real briefly to say I too demand the rematch to be at 154. There's no other way around it. Bud needs to mean what he say. In the post-fight press conference, he calmly said he could barely make 147 himself. And yeah, we can do it at 154. He said it absolutely. So it really sucks that he's backtracking this way. The iffy, wishy-washy ass personality he has is something that I don't appreciate and I don't respect. But at the end of the day, Earl should have won the fight if he wanted to dictate the stipulations.
All I'm saying, Don't tell us you do something and then don't do it, because then see, I'm trying to like
I
you as a
agree.
fighter. I'm trying to like you as a fighter. Now you start to spit in my face, basically, because now you agree to something, then you change your mind. Like, come on, dog, don't do it like that.
Right. Hey, man, I totally agree with that. But see, the way my competitive nature is set up, if I was Earl, I already saw him pull a foolie with me with David Adville. You know, we negotiated it up. This announcement with David Adville out the blue. I would have took myself a tune up at that time to stay fresh too. You know, Errol didn't have to be bullheaded and still say no tune up. I just want Bud, and that somewhat cost him too. You know, he went in there in the ring against a super elite brother after a 15-month layoff, and matters not how he came to the ring looking high, you know, looking out of it. That's at the end of the day, that ain't Bud's fault. Cause hey man, when you facing some opposition, it ain't your business, it ain't your concern how well they prepared for you. All you can do is get in that ring, get on that field, get on that basketball court or whatever venue that you competing in and perform to your best. If they didn't practice correctly, if they didn't practice productively, hey man, hey, that's their fault, not mine.
But look,
So
but look, if
But
I tell you I'm
we
gonna
can
beat you,
keep saying this
I
not
know.
Bud's fault.
Hold on for a second, hold up. Look, if I sit there and bust your ass, and then I tell you, look, we can run it back at this. Then me being a man, I'm gonna stand on my word. Like if you didn't want to do it that way,
right.
you should just said, nah, we're gonna run it back at 147. Don't sit there and agree to it when you in my face, and then when you not in my face, when we right here, then you go back on your word, because that's some whole shit right there. Like I felt like he agreed for you to fight
Absolutely.
EJ first. And then I'm
Yeah,
just
that's
talking about
whole
the people
shit.
that's agreeing with it. Like the people that's agreeing with it, thinking this shit's okay. Like that means that's showing your character flaws, but that means you would do the same thing. I'm not talking about you. I'm talking about the people
Yeah,
that's agreeing with it.
right.
That's like, now I know these niggas ain't gonna keep their word once it gets a little bit of pressure. Like a little bit of pressure make these niggas break their word. If they sit there condoning this and trying to fight for it, like it makes me look at you kind of messed up, because you are who you flock with.
Man, Upper, that's why it must be at 154 to end all the chatter, end all the speculation, to end all the questions at hand, because I fully expect the same outcome at 154 or 160. And I don't know if Bud feel as strongly as I do for
And
him
see,
to be
that's
trying
why I
to
fuck with
fuck
you,
it off.
because you keep it 100. But see, I was one of the ones not making excuses. I said Earl got the ring, he got what came with it. I say, hey, no matter how he looked, he got what came with it. But then you got Bud's team members saying we don't want the fight, so we gonna put it at 147 so Earl don't take the fight. So that's showing me that you know Earl has a problem at 147. So you try to make
Hey,
the
but
fight
you
at
know what,
140.
Upper?
Hold on.
Check it out.
So hold on for a second. For so cold to say, we gonna put it at 147 so Earl don't accept the fight. So you know Earl can't make 147. You know it's a difference for him that he can be handicapped. So why would you do that right there?
And this is my rebuttal to that. When Earl been at 147 over 10
12
years.
years. Almost 12 years.
Right. So the car accident, he was out 16 months. He came back and bust Danny Garcia ass. Then he had the Pacquiao fight set up. And then the retina injury, he was out another 15 months. And came back and bust Uga's ass at 147. Leading up to the Bud fight, Earl was very vocal about his nutritionist. You know, I'm in great shape.
Because he
Blah
trying to
blah
sell the
blah
fight,
blah
man.
blah blah.
He trying to sell the fight.
Right. I agree. So look, man, if the brother can't make 147 comfortably anymore, and if it's zapping his strength, his balance, or whatever, Bud need to see the man at 154, beat him at 154, and so he can hush up all the criticism and
Okay.
all of the folk that's busting his ass. There's
And see,
nothing
that's what
else
I'm saying.
can
But
be said.
this is what I'm saying though. Bud opened the door to be contradicted on what he said, because if he said that saying he don't want the Earl fight, so we gonna keep it at 147 so Earl doesn't take the fight. So you know Earl can't make the weight, because if you said you gonna put it at 147 so he doesn't take the fight, then you know Earl can't make it comfortably. So why you tell us that shit in the ring?
Man, that's dirty, man, and I don't agree with that. I don't like that at
They
all,
just came out with it.
because yeah, and you know, we want to see the best competitive Earl possible, and if 147 is not that, if I was Bud, I wouldn't want that. I would want Earl at his best, a way more competitive fight, man against man. Let me prove that I'm really better than you, because apparently beating you at 147 wasn't enough for the Earl folk. So me being a man that I am, I be like, fuck that. Let meet me at 154 and I'm gonna do it again.
Exactly.
And
I want
hey,
you at your
if
best,
it
so
if
it's no excuses.
right,
I want you so it's
I
no
agree,
excuse
dog.
where it's not lingering in your mind that you have a chance to fuck with me. Like, I want to let you know
Yeah.
that you don't have a chance to fuck with me. I will beat you at whatever weight you want, just so in your mind you know I am superior to you. And that's the way I feel like that shit. Like, when you sit there and have to
Yeah.
have a crutch or a handicap, that's not making you more superior. It just means you had the better circumstance. But if you
Well,
feel
That's
like you
that
got better,
Canelo bullshit.
obviously Crawford doesn't want to fight Spence at his best, which is so that's an unreal expectation we're having of him, because he wouldn't have ducked out the negotiations the first time if that were his goal. His goal is to get an advantage. So us sitting here saying, "Oh, we want him to," obviously that's an unrealistic expectation. He didn't do it the first time. He told y'all, when I beat you, they gonna say you weight drained. So 5 years ago, he told y'all what his plan was. He carried
exactly.
it out and executed it. So his plan is not to fight Errol Spence at his best. So that's just an realistic expectation. We're expecting things from Crawford that he has no intentions on doing. And he say he gonna do something. He has no intentions on doing it. He say he gonna do this. He gonna fight this person. He gonna do this. He never does it. So it's all smoke and mirrors, just like Spence told us. It's all smoke and mirrors.
You know what, 2 Cent, the way I'm built, if I was Earl, I would say, you know what, I'm gonna call your bluff. Bitch, you know I can't make 147 comfortably, but I'll make it one more last time. I would train my freaking ass off. I would
And come
make
in
that
overweight.
weight. I would blow up. I would rehydrate another 10, 15 pounds, and I would come bust your ass just because you being petty.
That's what I would have
So,
did. That's
hey
what I said
man,
earlier. I said that earlier. I
I
said,
would I
okay.
would do it that way, man.
I said earlier, I said, if he don't want to take the fight unless we get 147, I guess I have to pay that $1 million fine, because I'm gonna come in that bitch at 155, 156, and I'm gonna beat your goddamn ass just because you want to play games like that. Because you just went through this
Mhm.
training camp, so I know you ain't trying to damn trade anything for nothing, not get nothing. So you might as well go ahead and sip this damn fight and take this ass whooping. That's how I would feel. A1 salute. Welcome to the chat, big dog. Been waiting on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad, man. I've been up here trying to feed my kids, but now I'm hearing all this shit, right? And excuse my language, but I'm seeing all these Bud fans,
Hold
man.
on
It
one
pissed me
second.
off
Look,
a lot.
I'm about to finish getting wrapped up. Y'all go ahead. I'm right here in the background, but y'all go ahead. I'm just get my stuff wrapped all the way up. So y'all go ahead. I'm right here though.
So it's like I ain't a person that involve emotion in anything, especially no motherfucking sport, right? Especially not with man or for a boxer. The thing that irritates me the most is people that stand behind a motherfucker that ain't got no morals, sit there and lie to y'all face, tell y'all ain't shit as a fan base, talking about some other fan base is better, and then y'all still turn and kowtow to this man, like they worship this motherfucker like a demigod or something. Like, I'm so confused that like he literally sat there right after the fight and said, you know, I'll oblige at 154. Okay, cool. What I understand the leverage point of contracts and all that shit. Only thing, and him saying he want more money. Okay, that was already in the contract that the winner of it gets to choose the weight, and they also get a bigger, you know what I'm saying, split of the purse. If you already agree with him saying, you know what I'm saying, I'll oblige at 154 because you gave me everything I wanted at 147, why is there an issue now? Only thing should be a money issue. If a motherfucker is easy work and I went in there and beat his ass, collected my biggest bag, and I walked off into the sunset with a whole new stardom and a whole promotional market now, PBC behind me, backing me. I'm on every goddamn platform possible. Why would I not run it back and easy work, like not back easy work and move on to bigger and better things and dead this shit for its entirety of it? There wouldn't be no other arguments of it. Why is there an issue whatsoever? I don't care what Bob Ehrman said that this man is hard to deal with or any of these other people. None of that means nothing to me. My thing is I'm looking at you how you move with your morals and with your actions, and your actions is telling me, bro, you a weird ass dude. Like I don't know how else to really say it. And the things that they watch somebody that literally lie and try to tell motherfuckers every single day. And even this ain't even me being easy like none of that, bro. I'm a fan of first. Either one of the fighters I like. I try to like Bud as much as I possibly can. Every time I try to like him, they can give me a not to. And the fans are sitting here and they rock with this shit. They think it's cool. Like, where the fuck is y'all morals and principles at, man? I'm so confused. They're like, how do y'all look yourselves in the mirror and be cool with this? Like, yeah, you know, I rock with this person, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm gonna have to stand with him and try to come up with some type of excuse on saying, you know, oh well, EJ shouldn't have signed. It's like, bro, none of that matters. EJ shouldn't have signed, whatever the case may be. The fact of the matter is, you agreed to it. Why are you now, you know what I'm saying, doing a full motherfucking U-turn on the whole thing of it? That's the part that's more confusing out of anything, is that you're going back on your word and then you're making it difficult, you're making this other thing. All I know is if the easy work, point to the easy work, get the easy work done, collect you another bag, and then move on. You saying you don't want to
But
fight into the latter stage of your 30s, right? So why would you not fight this man again if he easy work in a few months, and then literally next year your thing is to do what? Either go out the male or go out the Canelo, possibly whichever one, and you trying to move on to bigger and better things. This is the easiest thing to do, bro. You want to stay active, why not do it? I'm so
and I
confused at the logic of shit, man.
Yeah, and and when I see, because I go listen to the other side because I want to hear other people's opinion, but their justification is, oh, the PBC froze him out, and he deserved to do whatever he want now. They was down talking Bud. Nobody gave Bud no respect. I'm like, what are y'all like? Where is all of this coming from?
That's that goofy
What
ass
are y'all
shit.
talking
That's that
about?
And
no
see, you
that's
can't
that
do
no
what you want
morals
to do if you
rebuttal.
don't sell. If you don't sell, then you can't do what you want to do. I don't give a damn how bad you is. If you can't
Real
generate the
talk.
revenue, then you can't do what you want to do. Period.
That's that no morals response is what that is. Well, all that shit's dead in the past. What is he doing now? You seeing him market and getting the marketing ideas from who? We've been seeing PBC fighters doing this for years, where they out here selling themselves. You know what I'm saying? Not no disrespectful way, but they selling themselves and marketing themselves. We seeing that shit. Bud he getting a blueprint on how to do it, how to make it so big, how to move about it the right way, and he literally taking this shit and shitting on it in a way where he like, bro, he fucking himself in a long term situation of thinking like, if you do this to these fighters, what do you think other fighters are gonna think, bro? Like they not gonna be willing to fight you, seeing how you moving with this whole situation of it. Like what? I'm so confused at the motherfucker logics, bro. His logics makes no sense. His fans that stand behind the shit on top of it make no sense, bro. When you ask them some questions and it's direct line questions, they refrain back to the exact same thing of saying, well, all in the past to this and this is what this and this and what that, and it's like, bro, y'all not standing on none of the shit the nigga done said. The nigga said we can rerun it back at 154. What else needs to be talked about? Okay, you want more money? You're getting more money from the get go because you won the first fight. I'm so confused that like how can you turn your back on a person that did everything and bent over backwards for you, you know what I'm saying? No homo, bent over backwards for you, and this is not even a thanks you get. This is how you literally show, all right, I'm a man of principle and morals. I'm gonna stand on the same thing you did, and I got you up out of it the first time. I'm gonna go and prove it wasn't a fluke. I'm gonna go in there and prove it don't matter weight classes or any of that. I'm better than you at every step of the way. I'm better than you in every facet of the game, and I'm gonna prove that by fighting you at whatever weight class you want, whenever you want, however you want it. That's what I'm gonna do. And I'm so confused at how his mentality is not the same, bro. I'm confused. Like, you mean to tell me, from what I do for a living, I gotta go up and showcase what I do for my job and be like, hey, this is the project, this is the initiative I put together, and this is the layout of it, and this is how much money you can make. Boom. compared to another person that's telling you, hey, you can only make $100 off of this, and they left a whole lot of room of shit that they didn't even make sense. You mean you tell me from a motherfucking executive level, you're not gonna choose me? Like, come on, man. Like,
Hey, man.
I'm confused at dude.
All right, hey, that's good shit, A1. I got to bounce, y'all. I'm gonna get back with you up in the panel.
And I agree with Original America. I said the same thing. It could be a strategy for definitely because they don't have a storyline to really sell the fans this fight. I agree with that. I said that too. Like I was saying, my only issue though is the fans that like they act as if this man don't sit there and lie to them. They act like this man ain't lied. They act like he legit ain't talk shit about his own fan base, bro. And that shit swept to the side. Like it's the things this
Everything
man say
Crawford
and his
do is
actions,
swept to
man.
the side. Everything Crawford
Talking about
does
he
is
can't
swept
do
to the
no
side.
wrong, and that's the shit that pisses me off. Because no matter what he do, but let Earl and DJ do something, they don't even be wrong, and they ready to tear their heads off, or they trying to cause disconcert, or they sitting here making up content because they can't get no clicks and views, so they want to pick up stories about Earl Spence and all that right there. But this nigga sitting here lying, and ain't nobody want to push the fact that the man sat there and said, we're going to put the fight at 147 so Earl doesn't take it. So you know that Earl can't make the weight. So you knew Earl had problems with that weight. So you just came out and did it. So we ain't use it as an excuse now when you confirming it. If you confirming something, how can we say it's an excuse? Because you basically confirmed it yourself.
Hey, Upper.
But even you tweeting out. Even you tweeting out, yeah, we gonna make it at 147 because it's a waste of time. Like, dude, you are sabotaging your own business. Why would you let your fans know and everybody following this that you gonna make it at 147 so it could be a waste of time? That's bad for business. That is not how you market something you want people to pay for.
David Ebenezer wasn't a waste of time, and you did 500K gates. And less than 10,000 pay-per-view buys. Now that was a waste of fucking time.
Hey, Upper, and then I heard a Bud fan try to say, oh, like Floyd said, if you get it right, if you get it done the first time, you know, so ain't no point running it back. I said, why he fight? Well, I asked the dude, why he fight Madonna twice? Well,
And
that
why
was
he
different.
fight
I don't.
why he fight the other dude twice too?
Kodo?
No, the
No, he didn't fight Kodo.
He fought the other Mexican twice. Not Casamayor, but what's the other Mexican he fight?
It was not Corrales. It was the dude before Corrales, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was fuck.
I can't remember that motherfucking name either. The one that they were saying he lost to, and then he came back and schooled him.
Then he came back and schooled him.
Castillo, right?
Yeah, Castillo. Yeah.
Castillo.
So I'm just using that same logic, bro. Like, if you get it right, if you get it done if you get it right the first time, ain't no reason to run it back. I said, well, he ran it back with them.
Until Pacquiao started lying.
Yeah.
Pacquiao started lying, talking about he was hurt. Then he was like, you know something, you lied. People choice salute, King. But yeah, that's the reason why Pacquiao didn't get a run back, because he started lying about the situation.
If people would acknowledge something wasn't right with Earl, then y'all wouldn't be like, oh, it shouldn't be no rematch. Like, why are y'all saying we know all the issues that Earl's been having, all the way now, all the stalling, but now all of a sudden he don't deserve a rematch at a better weight class because he having issues making the weight. He looked drained. He wasn't himself. He didn't fight like himself at all. If you don't want to admit that, then of course you're gonna be like, no, you don't need no rematch. But you go watch Earl last.
It was an idiot up here the other day talking about Breeders Prescott would have beat Errol Spence. And I'm like, dude, are you fucking serious?
Yeah, right.
And anybody would have beat Earl Spence that night. And that's what when Rick Timms was talking about him taking a tune-up. Could y'all imagine if he fought Keith Thurman like that and then Keith Thurman beat him up? Like, that would have just been ridiculous.
But you know,
and I'm gonna keep it real. And I'm gonna keep it real. I think Earl overlooked Bud a little bit.
Yeah, he was arrogant. Earl thought that he could just come off. He thought he was still in his 20s where he could just jump up and go play a full court game without warming up. And
yep.
He should have kept that momentum going from that Ugas fight. When Bud got him another fight, Earl should have got him another fight with Thurman. He should have went ahead and fight with Thurman. Because that's why Bud got that extra fight to get that shit knocked off. He had to get that rust knocked off of him. And Earl, he said that all cocky, like 50% of me is better than 100%. You're not fighting a regular fighter now, bro.
Right. Yeah, because he
But
said
he
at the
ran
damn.
the risk of being drained like that and then losing the Thurman. That would have messed the whole fight
No,
up.
because he was
But
already in
that's why I
shape
say
after
he's
the
great.
Ugas fight. I'm talking about after the Ugas fight, he should have
Right,
kept his fire going and went to with the Thurman. He would have been drained because he was
right.
already there. But from the Ugas fight, he set out another year and a half. He gained
Yeah,
another year and a
16 months.
half of age without working out. See, when you don't work out and you're not keeping your body, a body in motion is healthy. You want to keep your body in motion. So when he stopped for that other year and a half, you gotta realize he's 33 now. You feel what I'm saying? Like he's aging. He's not keeping his body healthy. He's not in the gym. He's not keeping his weight to a minimum. You know, he was like 170, 180 at one time before the
Right.
Bud fight. So you know he's not keeping his body consistent. So he's shocking his body. So then when it's time for you to get all the way back down, like hell, he could have fought Thurman at 154. Like he didn't have
What?
to fight Thurman at 147. They was willing to give him the Thurman fight at 154. That could have got his
And
body used to dropping some weight. You know, not as much, but he would have dropped some weight. You know, it would have kept him right there. It would have kept the cheat off of him. He could have fought the Thurman fight and then
right.
turned around, dropped down and fight Bud. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wouldn't have been you coming cold turkey.
But the guy so much he stand on his words so much that how people can't respect that. So this dude,
Bud trapped him with his own words because he know Earl's a man
yeah,
of his word.
yeah,
So
yeah,
Bud sat there and did that and played him because he know Earl stands on his word. See, when you have a word and you have bond and you have principles, then it's easy
right.
for people to play you because they know you have a standard, that you have a principle, that you live off your word. And that's why Earl's name is the truth. Because he don't give you nothing but the truth. Like I showed dude earlier today. He tried to say all fighters double talk and do all that bullshit. And I showed him.
Yeah,
Name me one time Earl double talked or lied. Never.
word.
That man did everything he said he was going to do. Even if it's
That's why.
detrimental to his health. He does it.
Word.
And
That's
that
why when a lot of Buzz
nutritionist,
fans,
King Money, yeah,
yeah,
that nutritionist was okay, but that nutritionist, I felt like he kept Earl around that weight too damn long. And like,
yeah,
yeah, he kept him around that too damn long. I felt like that
yeah,
nutritionist should have went ahead and let Earl drop that damn 10 in one night instead of just keeping him right there. Like, you got a person in the water drowning, but you got them treading water. Fuck, let them tread water for 4-5 days. Look, drop this damn weight one day. Let's get right. Because all you're doing is steady. The long-term damage that you're doing affects a lot more than the quick blast.
yo, and
Now
I
you
pray
got
Earl, and
because
I
he
pray
had
Earl
Earl
get back to
dehydrating
strength.
all week instead of just making him lose the last 2 days. So he got Earl down at 151, 150, and that's not a safe weight to be at for that long. But
Right.
that nutritionist was doing it that way, and hey, Earl got older. This shit hurt. That's why I say they need a
Yo, I
Blu-ray
pray
back.
Earl get back to him.
But I promise you this. I told them, I say, look, if Bud only wants to fight him at 147, I say, hell, it won't be but like $100,000 to $1 million penalty. I would be there at 155 on weigh-in, and I'm
Yeah,
gonna sit there and say, look,
yeah.
I told you I couldn't make the weight. You still didn't want to push it. Look, we here now. It's fight night. So you gonna turn down the biggest fight right now because I'm 7 pounds overweight or what? Exactly. He gonna take that fight because if not, he gonna have to pay for his training camp and all that shit that he just did. So, and you know, just as Earl's 6 pounds heavier than you don't want to take the fight. Then your fans gonna be like, damn, but you talking about going up to fight Canelo and all that shit. Exactly. That's why I say Earl should let that shit turn the tables on that nigga. That nigga want to be a snake right back. But
Yo,
see,
would
Earl
you
got too
trust?
much principle. See, Earl too honest for his own good though. See,
Right.
Earl like to keep his
Yeah,
integrity.
man. You can't be like that in this business, man. You
Yeah,
gotta kind
because
of.
if you snake me, I'm gonna snake you back, dog. But see,
Right.
Earl,
But
he
it's
keeps
because
his
Earl not used
integrity.
to dealing with people outside the PBC, right?
Yep.
No, it's not that. I think when you a stand up nigga, you expect, especially like he talked on the phone with Bud. And the
But you
main
can't
thing
put
I
your
always
morals and
said,
principles in the next nigga body. I found that shit out the hard way.
He
because
just
I'm a
wanted to
stand
talk
up
to
nigga.
Buzz. I mean Earl, so he could try to play him. That's
Yeah,
why.
exactly. Cause see, I'm a
but
stand
the
up
main
nigga, and
thing, though,
I be thinking other people will stand up as well. But I gotta
right?
realize that I can't put my morals and my morals and values in everybody else, because everybody else don't have the same morals and values that I have, and then I had to learn that shit the hard way.
And that's why I be telling dudes, real is just real. All that people say real, recognize real. Yo, a fake dude job is to perfect what real niggas do. So
Exactly.
anything Terrence Crawford was saying on that West Coast, Earl shouldn't be shocked if Bud go back on his word, because a fake nigga job really is to perfect what real niggas do. And I thought a long time ago that Bud always was talking outside of his mouth just to be talking. If this stand out to be true, that he trying to make Earl go to 147,
I mean, he already put it out
like,
there, bro. What you mean?
no, I mean, I know, cause So Cole said it. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, it got to be. Yeah, he ain't gonna. Yeah, he from the camp.
That's
Yeah,
his
but
best friend.
yeah,
That's his
yeah,
best friend.
yeah. So that's just like, yeah, yep.
This ain't Bernie the
And it's
boxer talking.
something,
This is
and it's
nigga.
something Bernie holding back. I don't even really mess with Bernie. I don't mess with him at all. But it's something Bernie holding back. Cause now Bernie talking this he talking this new way about Earl, as if like they had this talk, like Bud told him something like, yeah, Earl definitely wasn't himself, because if you pay attention to anything Bernie got to say about Earl now, you know what I mean? And I ain't talking about, oh, just because the fight is over.
Bro,
It just he
anybody
just
with eyes could see Earl with himself, bro. Like, that's anybody with
definitely
eyes could see that,
definitely
bro. Like, we not gonna sit here and act
definitely
like we ain't gonna sit here and act like we don't see what the fuck we see, bro. This boxing channel right here.
absolutely
We keep
right.
it 100. I'm
You
about
absolutely
facts over here, bro. We not gonna act like we don't see this shit and we see it. No, nigga, that's what your
right.
eyes is for. Is for you to perceive and see what's going down. And we
Right.
seen this shit with our own eyes, bro. Like, they say believe half of what you see and 10% of what you heard. But we sat there and see that firsthand. We see what went down. We seen it.
And that's another red flag with Crawford, how he let other people talk for him. You
Because
hopped
that
on
way, no, he
Twitter.
Like you
does
said,
that. You know why he does that? That way he's not held accountable. Because he can
right.
always, because he be having non-disclosure agreements where certain shit that he can't talk about. So Crawford does it the smart way. He has other people to talk for him. That way
Right.
you can't sue Crawford because he technically didn't say it. A member of his team said it. So he can't be held responsible for what a member of his team said. That's why he had them pushing all that fake narrative to try to get the fight in the first place when he went to go fight David Avenesian. He knows what he's doing. This man
Word.
knows how to use,
But
and
that
then
I'm just saying that's a red flag, because you want to throw these
the
stones and
whole
hide
thing
your
is a red flag. That
hand.
nigga, he's a red flag, period. What do you mean?
Right. Right. He always been that way.
He's
But
a
that's what
whole
I'm
red flag
saying.
himself.
Yeah,
He's the
nigga,
red
walking
flag.
red flag for sure. But
That
I'm
nigga
saying
Yeah.
is a
people
walking
rocking with him.
red
He
flag.
steady letting people talk. Like, you tweeting how you ain't gonna fight Thurman and you ain't gonna fight Garcia, but you can't tweet you want the fight at 147.
Right.
You know
Right.
why? Because this way his fans don't come at him.
Yeah.
See,
They get.
Crawford, he's good at using sheep. See, he's good at getting these damn dumbass content creators to push his narrative for him. That's all they ever do. You feel me? Like, and he don't even pay these motherfuckers. Hell, he had Blue Blood Sports push a whole damn narrative for him,
Oh
and
man.
wouldn't even give Blue Blood an interview. Like, damn. Like, this nigga that sat there and pushed the whole narrative for you. You wouldn't even come on the man's show. That should show you how grabby he is. Like, Blue lost
Right.
a lot of credibility fucking with Terrence Crawford, and Crawford couldn't even give him the decency to come to his show. And shout out to Blue, because Blue was my guy. He's still
Right.
my guy, even though this is a bit.
He's
I
still
realize
capping for Crawford.
I
Look,
know this is
that's
a business, and he done made his business choice. You feel me?
right.
He's still my guy. Just like shit. My guy, motherfucking BFTV, he caps for Dev a lot. But hey, that's my guy. You know,
Right.
sometimes you might hear me capping for somebody. I ain't did it lately, but you know,
He did it lately. I mean,
yeah,
it is what it is. Everybody got their bias or their opinions. It's all good.
I'm not gonna say I never capped for somebody because I might have. I just know I
But
haven't
you
did it
don't
lately.
intentionally,
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like, it's the intentionality between things, and you taking old stuff and posting it like it's new. Like, come on, like, you
Right.
know,
yeah. But
you
see,
trying
that's
to.
yeah. See, I don't do that
Right.
right there. But I don't want to be
Yeah.
up here and say I don't cap, and then somebody pull up some old shit that I had might have been capping on. Cause see, I can't remember everything I've done. But I don't cap intentionally. I don't do that because hell, I
Right.
know I got to be held accountable for everything that comes out my mouth. Now,
But I know
I
it's
might
Right.
be
one
on
thing that
some
you never done.
but look, I might have been on some bullshit one day, and I might have capped. That's why I said I ain't did it lately. You know what I'm saying? But I
But I
believe in
know
keeping it 100 because that's why I started my page because I got tired of everybody capping and trying to make us believe some shit that we know is not right. Like that's why I started.
right.
Like shit.
And I know it's one thing that you bought. I know for sure that you ain't never capped for Earl, because all we did was repeat what Earl said, and it's some real shit. Like Earl never since I met the dude, I ain't never hear the dude put out no fake no fake shit that he didn't do, or if he said it on Twitter that somebody interviewed him, he back it up.
Like, bro, I could be capping like hell for Earl and them. Like, I could be an asshole to expose me and Derek James, the shit that me and Derek James talk about, or any of that shit. But I don't because I'm a real nigga though, dog. Like, just because I know some shit, if they tell me it's okay to share with y'all, I share it with y'all. But if not, I don't. Sometimes I come up here and I tell y'all something, and it be the real shit. I heard, but I can't really say it like that. But you know, I can give y'all a heads up. Especially when I tell y'all Charlo gonna be at 160 or 163. I mean 162 to 163 on fight night. And when I tell y'all how Ryan Garcia looking, like I'm still trying to get the leeway to let y'all see some of these videos of Ryan. But
But did
like if
they
y'all
mention anything about the Shakur situation? Because they getting out of hand with it. Shakur is really being
I'm telling you what
disrespectful.
this is the Shakur situation. Shakur, now this is the whole situation. Now y'all, yeah, everybody might say it's like this, but the Shakur situation, and this is straight from people's mouth right here. This is Shakur situation. All right, look. Shakur was getting 5 million and Frank Martin was getting 1 million. Shakur saying Frank Martin's biggest paycheck was 250,000, so he was getting quadruple his biggest fight. So they felt like since Frank Martin was getting 4 times his biggest fight, that he should have took it. But what they failed to realize, 5 million, that's more than double Shakur's biggest paycheck. You feel what I'm saying? Like you're getting Bob Arum is paying $6 million for this fight right here. And the reason why he's paying $6 million because Frank Martin is a good name. So you're trying to 20-80 this man right here. And so Frank Martin went about to be 80-20. Like shit, you could have 60-40 it. But no, you want to get 5 million while this man gets 1 million. It may be 4 times more than his biggest paycheck, but do you think that you're 5 times better than me? Frank Martin has a buzz. PBC and Showtime has built Frank Martin's name. Earl has built Frank Martin's name. Frank Martin sold out versus Hardy's. He also sold out versus Michelle Rivera. So Showtime and PBC are also putting money in on Frank Martin. Frank Martin's not no slow leak. I feel like he's just a little bit behind Shakur in popularity. And like 1 or 2 more big fights, and he'll probably overcome Shakur just because his fan base, he's with Spence. But if you gonna put all this money into Frank Martin, why give Shakur that victory right there when he can go against a Tank Davis, get 10% and make well over 5-6 million? So why lose your O for 1 million when you can lose it for damn probably 8 figures if the fight go right? You understand what I'm saying? Now what happened? That's officially the link. Hold on, y'all. Let me post this link. Here go the link right here. Anybody need to hop back up? Oh yeah, of course Floyd didn't want that fight buckle up because he knew Errol Spence wasn't at his best. And what people fail to realize, Earl still works for Floyd Mayweather. Because Floyd and Al Heyman, they both run PBC. Floyd has money makers, the money team and all that shit right there, but they all together. Floyd done told y'all, if you see Al, you see me, you see me, you see Al. But yeah, that's
Oh,
how that damn Frank Martin situation went right there. Like, why lose your
and
O?
is
This
that
man
why
making
Shakur's so upset? Because he's missing out on one of his biggest paydays because Frank didn't take the fight. And also, I feel like them keep saying, "Oh, it's his biggest payday," is a deflection. Because just
it's
because it's
his
my
biggest
biggest payday doesn't mean you're
it's
offering me a
Shakur
good
big
deal.
yeah, it's Shakur's biggest payday as well, because his biggest payday was the Rob Casamiego fight. You know, where Shakur gave that man 95-5. Rob Casamigos got a 95-5 split versus Shakur Stevenson. Shakur got like 3 million, while Robinson Casasiao didn't even get over 250,000. And see, Shakur, that's why he's so mad at Frank Martin, because Shakur was scheduled to make 5 million and Frank was scheduled to make 1 million. So people sitting there thinking about it, talking about Frank Duck. How is that a duck? I'm getting 1 million, you getting 5. That shit don't even add up right. Now, if you'd have got 3.5 and I got 2.5, that's more like it. But I'm not about to sit there and put my O and my name out here for you to make 5 times more than what I make. Fuck that.
Yeah, they just want to be. They just I don't know. But it's over with. Shakur, you got to
Okay,
fight. Let's just
you
move
got to think
on. Why
about
are
it
you
like
still
this.
talking about it?
So Shakur, Devin Haney wants to give you 2 million to fight, and he gets 10 million. Would you make that? Or matter of fact, Devin Haney wants to give you 3 million, and Devin Haney gets 15 million. Is that a good fight, Shakur? No, Shakur would hell, he would be like, hell fucking no. But that's the same situation. Because if you said giving Frank Martin 1 million, then you get 5. So if Frank Million get 2 million, that means you get 10. If Frank Million get 3, that means you get 15. Listen to what you're saying. Just because it's his biggest payday don't mean that you're trying to pay that man shit.
Yes, that does not make it a good deal. Like I don't know why people,
Exactly.
and that's why they keep saying it like that. I offered him his biggest payday because you know that wasn't a good deal. So you're just trying to deflect with that little
You
bit of
got your biggest
information.
payday, nigga. And you was getting your biggest payday.
So, why did you say that you think Floyd and them didn't want to make the fight with Crawford?
They didn't.
But
All right,
why though?
A1, that's no problem, bro. I'm about to get off here in like 5 minutes anyway for my boy Just Do. But yeah, like they didn't really want to make that fight anyway because they knew Earl wasn't at his best. They knew Earl. Come on, man. Floyd is a boxing connoisseur. Floyd is one of the only people to fight above his weight. Like this man fighting at 155 when he walks around in the 140s. Like everybody else dropping 20 pounds, Floyd has to gain weight to make weight. You feel me?
Yeah, yeah. But that's crazy. I just hope they run this back at 154.
Yeah, I hope they do too. But yeah, like I guess I might do a video later about it because I'm tired of people trying to shit on Frank Martin when they mad that Shakur had the same situation with Devin Haney.
Same exact thing though. Like literally.
Exactly. Matter of fact, Devin was giving him 25%. He tried to give Frank 20%.
I heard it was 17%.
Well, hold on. Let me see. 1 million to 5 million.
Cause see,
That's
I think they saying a million, but you don't know once they sent that contract over. Because I heard somebody saying, I think it was on Fannin, a guy was
but
saying how they try to slide stuff in there, when it's
well, you
time
know
to
something?
sign.
No. You know something? You right, because if Shakur would have got 4 million and Frank got 1 million, that'd have been 5 million. So that'd been 20%. So it's a $6 million fight. Shakur getting 5 and Frank getting 1. So Shakur getting 83% while 84% while Frank getting 16%. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not just his biggest payday is yours too, Shakur. And now you mad because this man ain't about to be a damn a fool for you. Like, nigga, what the fuck I look like giving up my oath so you can get paid all this and I get the little bit. Fuck you. Like,
It's crazy.
but that's why Shakur's so mad, because that's by far his biggest payday. That man would have gained the extra $2 million off of Frank Martin name. And the reason why Bob was putting up $6 million for that fight is because Frank Martin is a name. And Bob
Yep.
could have sold that fight and made good money off that fight. But
And Shakur trying to say you ain't did nothing in boxing, you ain't got no titles, like all of this. I'm like, this is
look,
weird.
Shakur, you got to realize Frank got 2 less wins than you, but he got more knockouts than you, Shakur. You feel me? Ain't
And he
Shakur?
got a better resume, in my opinion. He fighting a lot of contenders.
Yeah, he fought RTM. He fought Michelle Rivera. Ain't Shakur 20-0? I think Shakur 20-0, and I think Frank Martin 18-0, and I think Frank got a higher knockout percentage, and he got better fighters on the resume. So what the hell makes you feel like you're supposed to get $5 million and he get 1? That's just like when Shakur was fighting Jamel Herring, the champ. Jamel Herring got I think 500,000 or something. I know Shakur got 2. Like Jamel Herring was upset as hell. Like he talking about it's just business. So you went behind.
I was hearing something about them contract negotiations that he played JaVale here.
Yeah, because see, they was about to go to purse bid. Because Jamel Herring was the champ. So if they go to purse bid, Jamel Herring the champ, then Jamel Herring will get the bigger purse bid. You feel me? Because he's the champ. So Bob Arum didn't want to go to purse bid, so they asked Jamel Herring what do they want. Bob said, look, I'll put this much up. How much you want? So Jamel Herring said, matter of fact, I think Jamel Herring wanted $750,000. So Bob Arum gave Jamel the $750,000 that he asked for, right? And Shakur was supposed to get that too. But Shakur went back and hollered at Bob and showed Bob that the fight was worth more than that. So Shakur ended up getting $2 million, while Jamel Herring only got $750K. So see, he went behind the back, and him and Jamel Herring was friends. So you went behind your friend's back and got a bigger cut on the paycheck, and didn't even split it with Jamel Herring. And then when Jamel Herring tried to say something about it, Shakur talking about it was just business, homie.
No. See, and that's why Frank ain't fooling with y'all for shit
And
like
see,
that.
when he fought Oscar Valdez, Shakur ended up getting a little bit more than Oscar Valdez.
So you don't think that's the reason why this is one of the main reasons why people don't want to fight Shakur, because of stuff like this? Like,
Of
you want
course.
everybody to believe nobody want to fight you because of your skill, but what if it's stuff like this that you doing that nobody trusts
I
you?
think it's both.
You
I
or
think it's
Bob?
both. I think it's both. We ain't gonna take away the fact that even though I hate the way he acts, Shakur's a highly skilled individual. You feel me? And a lot of people don't want to risk that shit, but he's steady getting over on people on them contracts as well. And the person ain't about to sit there and put their O on the line or put themselves out there, and you get this big ass paycheck and you expect them to eat peanuts. Like, no. Like, you and Frank Martin damn near got an identical. Okay, you're a 2-division champ. All right. Frank Martin doesn't need to fight with Shakur. People forget that Frank Martin is Tank's mandatory. He wasn't even going for the WBC. He was going for the WBA. But
Well, that would make sense. Like, I'm definitely gonna wait for this mandatory. I gotta fool with you, Shakur. Gonna fight Tank, lose, get this bread, and still be a star. Versus losing to you, and then they gonna try to throw me by the wayside.
Yeah, he loses to Shakur, then he's nothing. But if you lose the Tank, you are somebody. Roland Romero lost the Tank. He became a champion his next fight. Eastside Cruz lost the Tank with one hand. Now they calling him the Mexican Tyson, and he's getting fights after fights and losing fights. They still let them win. Damn,
Now
Mario
Ryan Garcia,
Sario.
the A side.
Mario
Ron
Barrios.
Garcia lose to Tank and he become the A side.
Hold on. Mario Barrios gets knocked out by Tank. Next fight gets a title eliminator versus Keith Thurman in another weight division. Loses that. Now has another title, an interim title shot this time.
Yeah, Tank is definitely the better bet. You can keep your $1 million.
Ryan Garcia is the A side to everybody under 147, not named Tank. See, Ryan just had to get in the ring with Tank. Tank ain't really make Ryan a star. They made each other because Ryan had 11 million followers. They was just tired of Ryan fighting Rudy Poos. But now, Ryan been under that Derek James training. He look good.
Who you want to see Ryan fight?
Honestly, I want to see him fight Devin. I want to see him beat Rolly for that belt. Then I want to see him fight Devin and then him and Tank with a rematch. That'll be Devin Haney's biggest payday.
For sure. For sure.
And Ryan will be the A side. But go ahead and give your last thoughts, man. We done went an hour into my boy in just due time.
Nah, it was good coming up here cooking today. Getting this off about this rematch. I mean, how you feel about? You excited about seeing the rematch, or you just want to see the rematch?
I'm excited that they do it at 154.
Yeah,
I'm
excited to do it at 154.
I just don't like going through all this song and dance shit, man.
I mean, I feel like Spence possibly knew what's up. He knew Crawford could possibly pull this, so I don't think it's too unexpected. I would hope it's not like no surprise.
I just hope if it do, I feel like if it do, I feel like that nigga need to come in overweight.
Yep. And then I hear people saying, "Oh, will he get a shot at his titles back?" Man, F them titles. That's over with.
Errol don't
Nobody
give a
worry
damn
about them titles. We just want to see him fight. But I appreciate y'all. Y'all sub to the channel. I'm gonna drop my link in the chat.
All right. Man, we done went for 3 hours today, but peace and blessings to each and every one of y'all out here. We're gonna be back on here tomorrow. Shout out to my boy A1 Hoop Zone. Shout out to King Vonnie. Buckle up. 2 Cent. Everybody that was on the panel. Peace and blessing y'all. Everybody make sure y'all go to Just Do Boxing as soon as we get out of here. And y'all let them know that Upper Echelon sent y'all over there, man. I'm going to be over there in a second. But let's go.
Hey, ha ba ba ba. Y'all know the. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. Raw Molly got me all up in demon mode. I'm moving like I done put clean in my nose. Trying to catch me a op, I can leave with some hoes. He standing straight up, watch I make him lean with this pole. Would've thought he was closed, how that heat made him fold. Thought it was a game, he won't think no more. His brain's gone, nigga. It be exciting when I get to striking. Guns sound like thunder, hit you like lightning. Fight for your life, we don't do no fighting. We really hit it, nigga. We worse than savage, they calling us Vikings. Police be riding, we still be sliding. Told you we hitters, remember the time. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for 'em. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really dripping, leave a nigga bleeding. I get to squeeze and leave a nigga bleeding. How about I leave them holding like the Bible? AR-15, that's a high-power rifle. A in the army and assassinate rivals. Break that shit down, nigga. AK or anybody kill. I pop out, get the drilling and spilling. 7.62 gon' split 'em. LTN, that's for any fuck nigga. You a plug, then I'm pulling up, nigga. You my lunch, eat these bullets for dinner. AK smoke killer for show. Drum rounds and cripple ops Draco. I got them all, you don't want no smoke. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me such a monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, bitch, I got it for. They want that smoke, you know I blow it. They call me Sunny Monster for a reason. I'm really tripping, leaving nigga.